Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the DXB podcast number 6, part 2. This is our E3 part 2 podcast where we're going to talk about all the other conferences other than the Microsoft one we covered in part 1. Since we're all bigger fans of Microsoft, we'll probably spend a little less time on the other ones, but we're going to go over everything still. So we don't hate just to hate. So. Um, Today with me, I am Chanogram. Real name's Channing. Um, there's only 4 of us here today. I'll let the 2 of them announce themselves, and we have a newcomer for the podcast. So you regulars can go ahead and introduce yourselves quick.
All right, I am Michael.
I'm Carnal Sin, aka Dominic.
Did we lose MW?
I think so.
Did this kid rip his mic out or something?
Once
Yeah.
again, we
Sorry,
cannot have
sorry.
a perfect
Can't
introduction.
do a perfect
Possible.
one. Hey, my name's Michael, aka MWJW.
Already did mine. Go ahead and
All right, so we have someone new from the forum and also our friend from this general Xbox Live community. He's nice enough to join us, so we don't have just the 3 of us idiots talking. I'll let him introduce himself. He can give you his real name if he wants. Otherwise, you can just stick with his gamer tag. So.
Hey everyone, this is Mortimus. That's my gamer tag, also known as Aldrin in some circles. Glad to be here and join the podcast.
All right, well there you go. We'll see if you're still glad to be here 2 hours from now. You might
I know I always
change
am.
your tune
Sarcasm.
as he just
No.
leaves halfway through. So all right, so since Mortimus wasn't here for the first part, he didn't get to give his thoughts on the Xbox conference. We will give him a couple minutes just to give his thoughts on that. Just as a quick side note, he did watch the every conference with us, all of them that we're going to be talking about. So he's got the knowledge just like we do as far as watching it. He's not going off of secondhand. So what did you think of the Microsoft conference, Mortimus?
Well, I was very happy to see Phil Spencer, of course, out with the old and with the old but new. Great speaker, good charisma, and definitely a positive influence on the Xbox brand at this point with the somewhat negative turn that they were on from last year. And he did what he promised, which was show games. So I was very excited to see some old stuff that we anticipated, such as the Call of Duty franchise, and then a few twists thrown in as well, which we kind of knew about, but certainly we're not 100% sure on things like Phantom Dust, I believe is the name, and Scalebound was somewhat of a surprise. Crackdown, I think we knew was coming, but exciting nonetheless. All in all, it was just a really strong showing of games. Very little talk, uh, lots of trailers, lots of live gameplay, and I think everyone in here knows I'm a big Ubisoft fan, so the Division was like gold to me. Even if it was not being played live on stage, there's some debate that was not being played live on stage, but I don't really care. The game looks awesome. So that's a multi-platform title. Uh, I'll be playing it on Xbox, even though I do have a PS4, because our community is awesome. Uh, let's see, what else did we have? Forza Horizon, psyched for it. Evolve, psyched for it. Assassin's Creed, psyched for it. Dragon's Age, psyched for it. Sunset Overdrive. I mean, I can go on pretty much everything on there. Dead Rising DLC, yeah. But, it's awesome for those who are really into Dead Rising. I haven't picked it up since it came out. I played through the campaign. So a great game, but not something I'll probably go back to. But Halo, awesome bundle, best bundle ever created for the price. What else do we got here? Witcher 3 looks awesome. So basically, we had a lot of games that looked awesome.
Fair enough.
Amen.
All right. All right, so we got that out of the way. So let's go ahead and jump right into the next conference. We're going in chronological order, not order of importance or anything. So next one up was Electronic Arts. We'll give you our overall thoughts on the EA conference at the end, but we're going to go line by line through some of these. I have a feeling we'll be skipping a big chunk of some of the sports games because I don't think many of us in this group, at least, are big sports game fans. So we're probably not your best source to even critique them because we just don't care. But we'll start off with Star Wars Battlefront. They showed a little bit of commentary and some really early footage, some behind-the-scenes stuff. It looked really early footage. I mean, it looked cool, but it definitely was not near complete. So that's what they showed us. I am not a huge Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars. I don't love it. Battlefront's been a pretty good game series in the past, so I have a lot of hope. What do you guys think of that one?
Oh, well, from what I saw, it looks pretty interesting. I'm glad they at least showed it. People were kind of wondering if it would show up at the show at all, because what we saw last year was just a quick little teaser, basically. So they were really wondering if they had actually gotten more into it. But I thought it was pretty interesting, and I'll be keeping an eye on it as it gets closer to launch. I'm sure we'll see much more footage of it before it comes closer.
Anyone else?
My opinion on it, I'm a bit impartial. Like Chano, I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan. I just never got into the whole sci-fi shows and movies. I don't know. There's some, don't get me wrong, but Star Wars is never one of them. Battlefront as a game, I did enjoy the other one. They were fun games. It's nice that even though if you're not a Star Wars fan, you can enjoy a game like this. So that's my 2 cents on it.
All right. Glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm a huge friggin' Star Wars fan. I was extremely excited. Did you see the early footage? Oh, it was awesome. Did you see the speeders? Did you see the speeders in the trees? It looked absolutely stunning. I know it's early footage. I know it's not real gameplay, but if you're a Star Wars fan, you friggin' got excited. It was the best part. I'm not supposed to give a synopsis yet, but come on, let's be honest. It was the best part of the Electronic Arts show. If you're a Star Wars fan, I thought it was absolutely incredible. I'm very excited for it. Can't wait to see what they do with the series.
Doesn't sound like Mortimus likes it at all.
Yeah, we probably need to give him
I
a
don't
few
think
minutes
so.
to drain the blood from his Star Wars boner. So
My lightsaber's glowing red.
there we go.
Wow, this is a classy joint. I can already
Yeah.
tell. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, we don't have average land shark and cabin to make it classy, so you just got us. So it's gonna be a bunch of dick and fart jokes probably.
Best
It is
kind.
what it is. All right, so that was Star Wars. I have nothing more to add than what I said. So, by the way, Mortimus, this isn't really when we get through these games, definitely don't worry about trying to jump in. We're not going like person by person. So if you have something strong to say, just jump in. You can always interrupt someone respectively. So especially if it's MW, just talk over him until he stops.
Thank you.
That sounds like a plan.
So yeah, don't necessarily wait for your turn, so to speak. So if you have something to add or a point to bring up, even in the middle of someone else's, if it's relevant, go ahead and do it.
You got it.
So moving on, Dragon Age Inquisition was the next one. We talked just a little bit about this in the Microsoft one, but we skipped it because they showed two, not necessarily better, but different trailers in the EA conference. They showed one with actual gameplay fighting, I believe it was a dragon. Right?
iDragon.
Yeah.
iDragon.
So they're fighting.
If you're a huge fan of the series, you know the difference. But
yeah,
anyway,
I'm not a big fan, so I don't
Okay.
dislike the games. I just could never get into them. But I think we mentioned in the first part, but the game looks gorgeous graphically. And if they made it open world enough, I might actually give this one a shot. But I'll let someone else who actually likes the series more than I do. Maybe Carnal.
I'm gonna take a Mortimer standpoint in here and say the game looks absolutely fucking amazing. Um, as you guys know, in the previous podcast when we came to my turn about what we're playing, I pretty much just got through
Geeked out.
Dragon Age 1 and 2, and I 100%ed them, achievements and all the DLC in the first one. The second one I really didn't care about, but the DLC it is. But the game looks gorgeous. I am so excited for that game. It's easily one of my most anticipated titles. When they're fighting the High Dragon, the graphics on it are stunning from every little scale on the dragon to the character models to the animations with the spells and the fighting. As you can tell, I'm excited for this game, but that's really all I have to say on it because I could go on
Yes.
forever.
So Mortimus has a glowing lightsaber, and you have a drawn short sword. Or dagger, I guess.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Hey, at least. Hey, no. He gave me a short sword at first, so I'm gonna take it and appreciate it. Because he could have said dagger first.
Fair enough. I also could have said broadsword, but I didn't.
Could have said shiv.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sharpened arrow points.
So I know MW likes this series quite a bit too. So
Oh yeah. Definitely been a huge BioWare fan back from since then. But watching that, I believe a lot of the footage was actually at least in engine. I can't say in gameplay because we don't know. I've seen some back behind the stage footage for like an hour and it looked pretty similar. So pretty good chances at least in engine. So that's pretty amazing, pretty nice. Everything that they showed was really pretty and it made you go, ooh. It wasn't a dull fantasy. It wasn't a gray, dark, dreary fantasy. They're always really high fantasy games, a lot of action, lots of really cool things, and I think they were just showing off what they can do. Some of the highlights, that they really enjoyed making, and thought we would enjoy seeing. And I thought that would have been it. And then they showed the gameplay with the High Dragon, and I was, definitely blown away. I remember the fights with the dragons in the originals, and they were really good even back then. But this is how I want to fight a dragon. I don't want to do like Skyrim where it's the same thing over and over again. Having more party members probably alleviates that a lot, and we'll have to see how many dragons they put in this one. Hopefully more than a couple.
All right. Thoughts, Mortimus? Or not much on this one?
I'm a big BioWare fan. I played the first Dragon Age. I did not have the chance or the time to play the second one. I heard mixed feelings about the second one. Just judging by what we saw, I will be picking up the third one. Looks great. Looks good.
Wait, does it look great or does it look good?
Good.
Oh,
Good. Somewhere in between. Okay, fair enough.
Somewhere in between.
on a secondary note before we move along, I'm so happy they delayed The Witcher, because if I had to play both of those, my wife just might leave me.
I'm just hoping the
That's way too
storyline
much
is
time
strong
saying.
in Inquisition,
Mm,
which it should be. It's a BioWare title.
right.
All right. So, next one that they talked about was a game I think we all love, or a series we all like, or at least like. I think most of us actually like it quite a bit. Problem is they didn't really announce anything at all. So there's really not much to talk about. That game is Mass Effect, whatever the next Mass Effect is going to be. They said they're working on it. They said they're working on it. Did they really say anything?
They showed some pretty pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
I
it
mean, it could
concept art
be-
basically they showed, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're looking 2016 probably.
Yeah. Well, what's weird is I thought there was that rumor that was kind of confirmed that the game was in basically a somewhat of a playable state. So I'm surprised we didn't at least get some environment sort of, not necessarily just a concept
Frog
art.
guy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But they didn't really show much. There's really not much to talk about other than I think we're all excited to see more of it maybe next year.
It makes me
Uh,
want to play the Mass Effect games because I never did because
Yeah.
I really wasn't a big fan of them.
Relating to Mass Effect, I'm really surprised EA did not announce a Mass Effect trilogy remastered.
oh yeah, that was
Uh,
also a
Yeah.
big
I mean,
rumor. In fact, I think that was even confirmed by them at
if
some point.
if you're going to do it, you might as well do it early on in the console, just like Microsoft did with their Halo. Um, it doesn't make any sense to do it 2 years into the console. You might as well get people into it early, and I don't know. We'll see what they do. Maybe they're so far away from their
My
next Mass Effect they want to save it for next year. Maybe who knows?
my thought is there's already so much coming out in the fall, and maybe that's the earliest they could push it out. It's probably going to be a small team working on something like that. I mean, they've already got, the teams working on Dragon Age and the new Mass Effect, so they might be a little strained for people. My guess is they'll release it in the summer of next year, spring, and that way we have time to play through them before the fall and the next game comes out, or when the next game does come out.
All right. Well, BioWare's also working on another game. I apparently missed this part of the conference completely. I don't know what I was doing. So, who was watching that part of it?
I was watching it, but that's about all I can tell you.
All right. Yeah.
I think I was in another planet too. I was probably dreaming of a Jade Empire sequel.
Fair enough. Yeah, that would be a good one. I would love to see that. That was a great game on the Xbox. Who knows what it is? I think at the very beginning they did say they were working on two, and they must have mentioned the second one, but it obviously wasn't a big piece of it because I don't even remember it. So,
Yeah, I don't think they spent more than 30 seconds on it. So
all right. Next thing they went to was Sims 4, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say it's a Sims game. It's announced, and we'll go on to the next game, unless someone really wants to talk about Sims. But I have a feeling none of us do. Nope.
I
Okay.
went up. I went up and got a drink.
Yeah.
So
I think that's when I went to the bathroom. So, yeah, moving on to the next game that probably none of us care about. EA UFC. I will say this game does look good. Graphically, the character models and everything, the animations do look pretty good. It was cool to see Bruce Lee in there. I have absolutely zero interest in this game. I'm not a fighting game person. I bought Fight Night. That was the last fighting game I think I've bought, and that was on the original, or on 360 early on, first couple of years probably. So, is anyone interested in the UFC or has anything to say about it at all?
The only thing
I
I noticed was it looked like Bruce Lee had a boner. That's pretty much
All
all I noticed.
right.
I think there is actually a demo up on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One for it right now.
Yeah, I think it's been there for a couple days.
Yeah,
Right.
it's definitely was before
Yeah.
E3. So
So maybe it's it might be a great game. I've never gotten into wrestling games. I've never gotten into the fighting games really. They're just not my style. So
mhm.
I get why people like them. That's fine. Uh,
Yeah, they're gonna kick the crap out of Bruce Lee,
yeah.
or with Bruce Lee.
So as you can tell, none of us are big sports game fans here. We wish Average could have made it. He couldn't make it tonight, but he's out of all of us probably the most interested in these games and probably would have the most to say. But he's not here, so instead
He's
he gets to
interested in everything.
Yeah.
The man's a well-rounded. He's a gamer of a gamer.
Yeah, well, I consider myself a fairly well-rounded gamer, but sports games are the one genre that I've never been able to get really into. I've tried. I've bought lots of sports games and just could not get into them. So, they're okay, but they talked about NHL 15. We knew it was coming. Obviously, they do one every year. It looks great. They always look great. And NHL is probably one of the more graphically impressive EA sports games, I think. It could just be because of the nature of the sport. There's not as many characters on screen, etc. So it looked good. If I was going to buy one, that would probably be the game I would buy, but I'm not going to buy it. So, uh,
Right.
again, anyone having to say about NHL?
The puck wobble was pretty interesting. Someone pointed out.
Yeah.
That's all we. That's all I got.
Yeah. No one else. Okay. Criterion is working on a new game. Criterion, of course, they did Burnout, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
the
were the
Burnout
Burnout
guys.
guys.
So they're doing a new racing game of some sort, but this game is, I guess, not just cars. It's vehicles in general. I really didn't understand the the whole thing. I don't know if I just wasn't paying
it
close
was
enough
a
attention or what, but it was
I think it
confusing.
was a concept that they were working on and just wanted to show off. Like, hey, we're trying something new. They wanted to see if, the mass of people were interested in it. I think if they get enough feedback, maybe more suggestions of where you would want to take it. If people just want a small, I wouldn't say indie, but a small arcade type, just demolition, fly around in whatever you want to walk around, fly around in. I think that's what they'll do. And if there's huge buzz for it, huge need, I think they'll put a lot more time and effort into it.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll find out eventually, I think.
but they were showing off some of the crashing and stuff, which reminded me of more of their Burnout series. And I really wish they would work on that more. But, yeah, we'll see.
Agreed. Anyone else? Criterion?
I thought it looked interesting. They had some interesting gameplay mechanics with the guy jumping out of the helicopter onto an ATV and then taking off that way. Be interesting to see what they do with it with the multi-vehicle format.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right. Next game, PGA Tour. This is a series, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that used to be the Tiger Woods PGA game series, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Before Tiger decided he couldn't keep his lightsaber in his pants. So
His
it's
golf
now
club.
it's now just PGA Tour, no Tiger Woods attached. I think Mortimer is probably the most excited about it, so I'll let him talk about it.
I've been playing PGA Tiger Woods since I think '05 or '06, and I took
05
a
was a
few
good
years
place to
off
start.
because it got a little repetitive here in the last few years, so I haven't played. Not a lot of new mechanics or anything like that, but I got very, very good at the series, doing trick shots and all that great stuff. I can't tell you the hours I put into the Tiger Woods series. I play golf in real life. It's just a different fun way to sit down and play golf without being out on the course. This the Frostbite engine looked absolutely phenomenal, and the kind of what's the word they used, the fake courses, whatever, the imaginative courses with the battleship flying in and you got to shoot the ball over the battleship. That just looks like fun for
Yeah,
someone like
that
me
was a
who's
destructive event from Battlefield, and I think that'll be something that golf fans and maybe it'll get some more people into it to be like, hey, we can do fun too, not just simulation golf. You know.
Yep, agree. It'll be the first golf game I've probably bought in, I'd say 4 years now, three
Yeah.
years. Just because it looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Oh
Frostbite
yeah.
3 engine is
Which was
really,
really
really good
funny
looking.
because they said, I think it was last year, that they weren't they had their own engine for their sports stuff, but now they're all going closer and closer to Frostbite as their main engines, which is fine, but it's just kind of strange that they outed this big engine last year and then, oh no, we're all going Frostbite. Okay, fine with me.
All right. Anything else on that one? No. Okay. You guys are lively. Uh, Madden 15. Hey, another Madden game. Uh, it looks good graphically. They apparently are focusing on defense this year, I
Which they
believe, when I
needed
got
to. It
out of
was
it.
incredibly weak from all the fans of it that I've heard.
Yeah. Well, maybe this will entice fans to actually want to play defense instead of just waiting till next time they got on offense. So maybe they'll actually make
Right.
defense fun in this game. I don't know. I haven't honestly played a Madden for more than maybe a match since probably Madden 03, 02, somewhere around there in the PS2. So not a great, you know, I can't really critique Madden and to tell you how it's evolved from last gen to this gen, or even last game to this game. So, are there any Madden experts in here?
I am not a Madden expert, but I do play Madden occasionally.
You
Like
play
I buy it.
Maiden? Do you dress up as a woman and play Maiden?
He gets up in a tower.
You know
Oh,
it.
please come help me, big strong man. Big strong football guy.
I'm gonna cut out part, or I'm gonna put a little space in here and put the "Waiting for a Hero" song from Shrek. All right. Anyways, so Madden. What were you gonna say about Madden?
Like I was saying, Maiden. In the game, I don't know. I play it about every other year. I might pick up a Madden. I'm not like an expert as you were asking for, but it looks good. But with every Madden game, you're never gonna really know what's actually changed until it releases. They can talk and talk and talk and say this is new and that's new, but then when you get the game, 9 times out of 10, it's the same exact game. So
Yeah, I think Average was expressing that. It's really hard to know what you're going to get with a Madden if they have changed what you wanted or if they've just went with there's a more lively crowd this time or here's some more football management stuff and everything else was kind of just the same that it was the year before, so.
Yeah. Madden in a nutshell.
This is Madden in it. Sorry.
Anything else on Madden? No. Dawngate. It's the notes that we grabbed from some other site says that one MOBA that no one cares about. I don't know anything about Dawngate. I don't play MOBAs. So I clearly, once again, am not great at critiquing this. I pretty much tuned it out, honestly, because nothing they said made sense to me because I don't play this game. Or MOBAs in general. So.
I'm right there with you, Chanogram. I don't play it.
same here.
I
Don't touch MOBAs.
I don't understand the huge following from MOBAs.
Mm.
I get it; it's a cool competitive. Uh, God, our gaming is completely desperate for anything good to watch on a video game. Competitive video game.
Yep. I don't know what
Um,
the draw is either. I don't understand how like hundreds of thousands of people watch this on Twitch every day. It blows me away. But
I mean, it's a competitive dungeon crawler. That's all that they are. Every single one of them is that exact same thing. And sure, some of them have better classes, some of them have better dungeon layouts, but I don't get the hundreds and thousands of people watching them. That just whatever.
The way I
But
describe it is it's
yeah,
World of Warcraft PvP.
yeah,
That's
it.
all it is.
Uh, it it that's where a lot of that stuff came from, PvP and MMOs and stuff like what Guild Wars was doing back in the day. They had larger areas to PvP and it just wasn't small arenas. Well, they took that and expanded them even larger and added the ability to watch with a crowd, and that apparently kicked off real high. So, hey, if it works and you get people interested, more power to you, I guess. But from everything they showed, it looks like they're putting care and time into it. So they might not care now, but people said that about everything. No one cared about Steam. Dear God, you can't go anywhere without people praising that now. So you never know until later on.
yeah. Every time I hear someone praise Gabe Newell, it makes me want to throw up a little bit every time. So I don't like that guy.
No.
I don't mind Steam. I just don't like him. A whole other side
That's fair.
topic for another day. Let's move on to a game that some of us might actually care about. Mirror's Edge 2. They announced it officially, which I think they already confirmed. Was it last year? It's already been confirmed it was in development. We got to see some of it. Some very early gameplay, although it looked, I don't want to say it looked polished, but the animations looked okay. I will say they did not change much going from Mirror's Edge 1 to 2. It looks like a upgraded graphics version of the first one. I didn't play the first one a ton, but it didn't look. It graphically looked better. Don't get me wrong. It's just
Sure.
like the concept is exactly the same to me. The gameplay wise, it just looked the same. So, which is great if
agree
you
with
like.
that.
Yeah, if you like the first one, I'm sure you'll love the second one. Then that's not a bad thing. I thought maybe I'd see more of an evolution, maybe to
So
something.
did I.
Yeah.
I thought maybe an open world or something, but it still looks like levels.
Yeah. So
They did say
I,
they added a ton of new moves
parkour
and
moves. Yeah.
animations and parkour moves. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off with the controller being able to pull off the different moves at the right time.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I'm sure they had to stick with that design aesthetic because that's what everyone sees. They see red and white, buildings in front of them, and oh, it has to be Mirror's Edge. So I think it was a decision because of the fan base. They want their fans to be interested. So adding in stuff that's similar when it's first shown off is probably the best way to go with it. That gets their actual fans excited, and then as the development heads along, you start showing off, different things and more things that you can do, and how diverse the game can be for those that maybe kind of only glanced it over last time.
yeah,
So,
I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in it. I think they're going to treat it just like the first one, and it's going to
Faith.
be
Yeah, I was
faith.
gonna say,
maybe
wow.
it's yeah, pun not intended. It's going to be
I'd put a
a
lot in
time
faith.
trial type of game. Once you burn through the story, you're going to be trying to do faster on the levels, and that's what really threw me off in the first one is that the story just wasn't fleshed out enough for me. So, I mean, if they have a great story in this next one, maybe I'll be more interested in playing all the way through it. But um, yeah, I'm not one to typically replay games, so or levels of a
Yeah.
game. I usually just play it once, and if I even make it through once.
What Forza track was that, Chanogram?
Forza, for whatever reason, Forza's been the exception for me, not the rule. So yeah, I will. Forza, I've put a lot of time into certain tracks. I've literally raced till the gas ran out, trying to beat people's
The
times.
gas meaning his finger was blistered and he can no longer move the thing anymore.
So, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not
I
necessarily.
finally beat him
I'm
on lap 35,
yeah,
and I have my quotes in the air. So
we'll see. I might pick up Mirror's Edge too, and I also have to see more. I think a lot of people are the same thing where they just kind of want to see more of it. Um, let's burn through this next one. FIFA 15. Who plays soccer games?
Used to, don't, because it became like Madden. It's pretty much the same game every time with a
Okay.
couple new graphical uh, additions.
All right. So, in the sake of time, let's just say it's another FIFA game with better graphics, and move on to the next game. Um, Battlefield Hardline. Finally, a game we can all
yeah, sink
appreciate.
our teeth
Really
into.
appreciate. Yep. They showed. Um, this is where they showed the trailer, right? The gameplay trailer, where it was like a
Um,
whole match, basically, sort of.
no, that was Sony's that they only showed the trailer.
Oh, okay.
This one they actually played.
This was one of the matches, right?
This was one of the matches.
Where they had
Yeah,
the okay.
Microsoft and EA they showed matches. Sony they got a nice little trailer and oh here's your beta access.
Well, Microsoft didn't show it. Microsoft didn't show anything on Battlefield, I don't think.
Yeah, they did. They showed gameplay.
Sure about that?
Yeah,
I don't
go back and look
remember
at the
them
notes.
showing
I think you're
Battlefield. Maybe
misremembering.
they did.
I remember Call of Duty.
Yeah, we saw Call of Duty, but we didn't see Battlefield on Microsoft stage. We only saw it in two places, and that was EA's and Sony's. So,
Oh wow, my
Yeah, I
brain
think
is
you're right.
fried from that day. My
yep.
bad.
But either way, we
I
got to
retract
see
my statement.
we got to see gameplay in the EA conference, and uh, it looks like Battlefield as far as the mechanics go. The premise looks kind of neat. It was I actually thought it looked pretty impressive. It looked very frantic, um, which sometimes you don't get in Battlefield. It can be very standoffish, depending on what kind of game mode you're playing. This one looked very, and it could just be the mode they were playing for all I know, but it looked very just chaotic, which could be really fun for a Battlefield game. So
Yeah, I think a lot of the spawns were a little bit closer this time, so you had, you still had less time to get into the action. Whereas with some of the modes, you were literally able to spawn on the other side of the world and then take half a match to get back in. Well, not literally, but
yeah.
it takes a lot longer to get back into the action. So, but
I've been watching. I've been watching some of the beta on Twitch, and it definitely is Battlefield. The gameplay style, everything is still Battlefield. The vehicles are different. The tactics slightly different, but I'm still seeing a lot of Battlefield-esque type moments. So I consider it just, I know it's a whole game, but it's like another mode for Battlefield, is how I look at it. If you love Battlefield, you're most likely going to like this.
Basically, think of it as Battlefield Vietnam. Same gameplay, different guns, different setting, different vehicles. But if you like Battlefield, you're gonna like this, no doubt about it.
An echo in here?
What I'm hoping, and I'm a Battlefield fan, I've been playing Battlefield for years. My big thing is fix what's wrong with Battlefield 4. Please, if you're going to put out a new game, there's still a lot of bugs, there's still a lot of issues. I don't want to get killed by invisible people that I can't see. Little things like that. Bullet damage, make sure you get it right. Especially when you're playing close quarters, and this is way more close quarters looking than a typical Battlefield match.
Yeah, to that end, I think I saw a tweet about the beta that people were playing this weekend, or not this weekend, but in the last few days. And the tweet said it's a lot like Battlefield 4, except it works. So, I mean, if the beta is already running smoother than Battlefield 4, that's a good sign. So, we'll see. And granted, it's a closed environment; it's not running on the internet, so to speak. But still, it's
Yeah.
it's promising, and it's a new
Well, I mean,
developer.
we
It's
really,
Visceral. If you didn't know, it's not DICE making this game. It's Visceral. DICE has input, but Visceral is leading the multiplayer and campaign. They're the devs. So with a whole lot of DICE's assets, of course. So um,
Me, on the other hand, I'm not really a Battlefield person, but this one I will be picking up. I like the concept.
all right. That I believe is it for EA. So a few it's a few games we cared about. Not to say that the sports games are bad. I don't want to downplay that. If you're into sports games, that's great. We're just not, so we don't really have a whole lot to say about it. So
if you're into The Sims, you'll be
yeah,
happy.
if you're into The Sims, sorry we completely skipped over it. But as little as I care about
Maybe we
Madden,
should have grabbed
Wimpy
our.
Wop.
yeah, I care less.
Maybe we should have grabbed our wives. I mean, they might be more interested in it.
No, I don't think so. I don't even know who plays The Sims. Like, they sell a ton of copies, but I haven't met someone who actually enjoys Sims in probably
Okay,
6-7 years.
my kid a few years ago loved The Sims, so I think it is a
It's a
early
teenage-based game.
teens kind of thing because you can play dress up, you can make your characters.
You can
So
play
I
Maiden.
think it is definitely a primarily female based. At least
Right.
I hope so. Kind of game.
A lot of people that I saw came in were middle-aged housewives, and they bought the expansions, they bought the games, they asked questions about their computers so that they could play it better, and teenage girls. It really is. It's more geared towards women, but at the same time, anyone can go in and have fun with it. You just gotta not pay for all the crap.
Fair enough.
I got it.
Maiden.
I got it
Someone's
for
playing it.
almost. I got it for Sims 3 almost for free with the some deal on Origin. So I took it, played it, had fun, stopped playing it a day later. You know.
So you're a woman. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we need to speed up this podcast, so we're going to be doing this thing for like 3 hours. So let's give our quick closing thoughts on the EA conference. Again, try not to compare it till the very end. We'll kind of compare, rank if you want. I don't really like to declare a winner, so to speak, but this particular conference was not really that impressive. There were a few games that were impressive, but overall the conference bored me to death. That could just be because I'm not a sports fan. I know Average, even though Average likes sports, what I got from him, or the impression was that even he wasn't real thrilled with the conference. It was just kind of, it could have been condensed down to, 45 minutes to an hour, and it would have been better. They focused less time on some of these games. Talking about new features of NHL 15 and Madden probably isn't going to get anyone to buy the game. The people who are going to buy it are already going to buy it. There's a following there. Maybe I'm completely wrong. So it's been known to happen once in a while. But overall, meh. Other than a little bit of Battlefront, Dragon Age, and Hardline, basically are the 3 games that I was interested in. So
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. It started strong and ended strong, and everything in the middle was meh.
I shall describe it in the words of The Sims. Dragon Age, Battlefield, and Mass Effect and Battlefront. Wow, 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 wow!
What?
Everything else, wow.
That means he's happy.
I don't play this. I don't play The Sims enough. I thought he was having a seizure or something.
That
Uh,
too.
That also.
That's where Cardinal plays Maiden.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Maiden. Yeah.
um. So I like the conference, not overall, but for the parts that they did show that interested us, and of course they showed stuff that didn't interest us. But it was all gameplay, and they showed their wide diversity of stuff that they're working on, which is always good, even though we might not all like it. It was a okay conference, thanks to WoW, just about everybody. I wish they were a little bit lighter on the sports, but like we've already said, not sports guys. So
Well, I am a sports guy. I love sports. I don't like sports games.
he likes
We should
real
we should
sports, though.
clarify that. Yeah. Maybe that's why I don't like sports games that much. I don't know. Maybe it's because I like watching the real thing more than playing it. I guess I don't know.
There you go.
Just a preference. Anyone else
Not
have
enough fresh
any
air
other
for
thoughts?
It's like sex.
Eh.
Not enough fresh air.
All right. Let's. I'm gonna end the recording here for just a second. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back for the Ubisoft conference, which I think we'll have lots of good stuff to talk about there. So, see you in a second. And we're back. Next conference we're gonna talk about is Ubisoft. We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit so that you guys don't have to listen to us for 2.5 hours. But the downside to trying to do that is that Ubisoft had a lot of good games. So we'll do our best.
yeah.
We apologize if we talk too much, but hey, we're gamers and we like certain games, so it is what it is. Deal with it, or just hit the stop button and go do something else. So, yeah,
We
I'm a
ain't getting
great
paid.
advertisement for my podcast. Hey, listen to us or don't listen to us. I don't give a shit. So let's get right into it. Their first game they showed was Far Cry 4. With some gameplay, I believe. Or no, not gameplay. This was basically like the first 5 minutes of the game. It was more of a cinematic opening to the game, correct?
Right,
Is what it was.
right.
And it was awesome. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And just balls out crazy. So I don't know. Maybe you guys thought differently, but I thought it was
very
great.
very good new Far Cry villain. Let's put
Oh,
it
yeah.
that way.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that.
Gotta love those insane guys. They are awesome.
The dialogue was perfection. It
Yeah.
was just awesome.
That poor monkey.
When he started stabbing the guy, it was
uh,
hilarious over and over and over and over again.
It's
Now
pretty,
look what you made me do.
yeah, it's pretty rare that they get the villain to be believable crazy. And that was believable crazy. Like I didn't feel like I was watching a cartoon. I thought I was watching an insane person. Like a real insane person. That's how good they got the dialogue. It didn't sound cheesy. It was just like, wow, this guy's fucking nuts. That's basically
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
ended up with at the end. So
I can't wait to play it. Just based on that 5 minutes, they had me sold.
yep. And we'll talk more about Far Cry as well in the Sony conference because they actually had some gameplay. So anything else on the trailer part of it? We'll go over the actual gameplay later. Anyone else?
Visuals were very, very pretty. And it is dated for November 14th.
Me wanny now. Me wanny now.
Another thing to add to the weakening of my already empty wallet. Yay.
Yeah. Yep. Next game, I don't think any of us really care too much about, but it's fairly popular. It's Just Dance 2015. The series sells pretty well. It is.
This
it is.
almost killed their conference.
Yeah,
for
this
me, I
was
gotta say.
the low point of their conference, in my opinion.
In everyone's opinion.
But if you're into those kind of games, it looks like a decent game. I mean, I'll give it that. It doesn't look like a terrible game. It's just they probably could have done it without having people in the crowd stand up and start dancing that were planted and bringing out 40 people on stage. Could have done without it. And that was to advertise the Just Dance Now thing, which is like you can connect to any smart TV or some shit like that. I I think there's probably 13 people in the world that'll use it, but you never know.
Those teenage girls love their phone. Why not yell into it like crazy people in the middle of the subway? It'll make for some great videos.
Yeah. All right. I don't think any of us have a whole lot to add to that. I don't think any of us are dancers. So,
No.
next game we care about a little more.
A lot more.
The Division was. This was a trailer. This was the trailer that had the. You could hear the voices. You could see the effects of what was happening as he was talking and going over the story part of it, but you couldn't actually see the person. That was this one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but
Started off with the Christmas music.
we never talked about it on the Microsoft conference because we
Yeah,
said
we
we were
did.
gonna save it for. I thought we waited.
No, we talked about
We-
it because they had the
We
actual
talked
gameplay.
about it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So we already talked a little bit about this in the Microsoft, of course. So we all think the game's going to be great. Mortimus, unless you have a strong disagreement to that.
Oh no, I think I expressed in my little Xbox overview. This is one of my most anticipated games coming out.
Yeah. So it was it was a great trailer. It was just a trailer. It was no gameplay at all. So yeah, not much more to say about it than we've already said. It still looks good. It didn't do anything to diminish that. Next game, The Crew, releases November 11th, which is the same day as something. No, it's not. Someone said it was the same day as Forza Horizon 2. That's not true. Because Forza Horizon 2 is September 30th.
November. Yeah, September. Yeah, 30th.
So I don't know. Maybe these dates are wrong. Don't quote us on these release dates. We're getting it from an unreliable source potentially.
The Crew was originally quote unquote announced for November or October 7th, which was right on top of Dragon Age, which is right on top of Drive Club,
All right. Well,
potentially. So those were all wrong.
it really doesn't matter
official
when it's
release
coming
date,
out
yeah.
since we don't really care. But obviously we don't care about the release date specifically. All we know it's a shitload of games coming out. We really don't care when they're coming out. We'll probably just pick them up whenever. The game itself, they didn't really show a lot. It was a interesting sort of montage trip of him basically going across the country is what I got out of it, right?
Yeah.
Right, it was from LA to Miami, I think.
Yeah.
They were showing off some of the more interesting spots. Like, I remember you were
Chicago.
like, yeah, but this game doesn't have off road. And then that second, it popped up off road. You're like,
Yeah, I mean it's still not as fleshed out as what Forza Horizon 2. I mean, I'll bet money it's not as fleshed out overall because it's just too big. There's no way they can
Yeah.
have the stylings and everything of Forza on that big of a scale. It's just not going to happen. It could still be a good game. I like some of the aspects of it, the social aspects. Uh, it's ambitious. I will give it that.
There's just a lot of options available for racing games, whether they be on track or off road, coming out all within about 60 days of each other.
Right.
If you're like me, you're gonna pick, and if you're like me, it's gonna be Forza. Uh, I almost feel bad for the Crew because of the amount of competition. If it was 6 months away, I might pick it up, but it's just a little bit too close to the Forza release for me.
Yep.
The interesting thing was they said, hey, beta signups are today. Site was completely crashed as soon as I tried to because although I'm not hugely interested in games, driving games, I love every beta. If you give me something free to try out, I'll be there, and I'll give you a chance. Uh, yeah, the site was down, and then once it wasn't down, Uplay is a pile of crap. Thank you, Ubisoft, for your DRM. I love you. Um, I did finally get it to work the next day, so I'm signed up for it. So you might hear a little bit more about it later. Um, the thing that really differentiates the Crew from the other two are it's got a lot of car customization, a lot of do what you want with this car. Horizon will probably have a lot more paint jobs and options, but I think the crew will do more parts and grills and make your car an off-road car, and then have an option to change it back to a street car. So
All right.
we'll see.
Anything else on the crew?
Apparently, it's PC closed beta only.
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
All right, let's go on to the next game then. I can't remember how much we talked about this in Microsoft breakdown, but Assassin's Creed Unity, they showed another trailer and more gameplay. This gameplay wasn't any better or worse than the other one. The other one, the Microsoft one, was more of a mission, it looked like, specifically. This one had a little bit more
That was
of...
showing off the co-op more. This one was showing off the single player.
Yep, that's
how
exactly
that
what I
kind
was
of-
just about to say. Thank you.
Sorry.
So, yeah, I mean, there wasn't anything better or worse about this trailer. It was just a different part of the game. Still looks great. I have nothing more to say about it because I think I've said enough in the Microsoft one about it. You guys have anything more to add on this one?
It looks amazing. It looks awesome. It looks outstanding. It looks excellent. Okay, I'm done.
Carnal wants to be green. That's all I have to say.
I want to be green. I call green.
Well,
You can be
I call blue.
purple.
So, we can let Mortimus be the pink one.
Oh fuck!
He can be the pink Power Ranger.
No, I'm not into that. I'm excited for the game. Definitely, I think the co-op sounds exciting. I would like to bring up just real quickly about the lack of female assassins. I think that would have been awesome if they did add that maybe in a future game. They'll throw that in there. I think that's something to add an interesting twist.
They had a female assassin already. It was in that.
Liberation.
Playable?
Assassin's Creed Liberation. Yep.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah, but
PSP game,
they-
and then they ported it to PS3 or something.
Yeah,
Never
they
played
just
that one.
mean. It went to the 360 also.
No, okay.
Sure.
Well, either way.
It was a mediocre game at best. Anyway, getting back to it, yeah, they just didn't want to do 8,000 more animations for female, and they didn't know there would be such a huge backlash. But tell a woman that she can't do something, and she's gonna bitch.
Yeah, I don't really care
Every-
one way or the other. I think it's a non-factor to me.
It's a non-issue.
It's
Yeah.
a non-issue to me. Of course, I guess they could have put one of the four a woman, but
Alright.
it doesn't matter to me.
Too
so.
much time on this topic. Too much to cover. Not enough time to go over gender equality.
The boss of me.
Um,
Talk all day.
we can talk about that in a whole other topic next week in the podcast if you want.
I'm the
there
maiden
you
of
go.
the group.
Because there's another stupid article that was written on another site that I'm not even going to bring up because I don't want anyone to go read it. But we can talk
Why'd
about
you
that some
even
other
talk
time.
about it?
I'm just saying it's not the only thing gender-related that's come up in the last few days. There's other stupid things that have come up. So, not that your point was stupid, Mortimus. I'm not saying you were stupid
No, I was
about
just
it,
saying
so.
it would be an interesting addition.
So, yeah, you weren't, sensationalizing the fact that there wasn't one. It's whatever.
Oh God, no.
Someone
Um,
else did. Let's put it that way
yep.
and move along.
So we're all excited for Assassin's Creed. It looks good. The next game is interesting because it's Shape Up. It's the fitness game. I believe it's for the Kinect only. Is it only Microsoft?
We haven't had confirmation, but it
Yep,
looked
no,
like it was.
It is?
It was
Okay.
Did we?
Microsoft only, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a fitness game that uses Kinect. Basically, it's mini games for fitness. I actually thought it looked, as far as exercise games go, I thought it looked pretty damn fun. Does that mean I'm going to pick it up? Not necessarily. But of all the Kinect-centric games that I've seen, this one looks probably the most fun to play, even if it's just by yourself. Just doing some of the things, or with a kid or something. That's just my thoughts. I mean, it surprised me initially. They showed it. I'm like, oh god, here we go, another Just Dance or Dance Central. But it actually looked pretty fun.
The only reason I wouldn't get it is because I'm a fat ass and I can't do a push-up. So What? What?
Yeah, I mean, it looked really interesting. And at least fun, if nothing else, which is sorely lacking in a lot of a lot of the sports games. It's like, yes, this is cool. You put a lot of work into it, and for fitness nuts, that's great. But I like to be entertained, so that's what
Yeah,
I play games for.
most fitness games are just like you standing in front and looking at yourself as you move around. This actually gives you something to immerse yourself into. That's actually a game. So therefore, it's gonna to appeal to like, gamers and fitness people both.
you know,
So
I'm really extremely surprised Nintendo didn't try something like this with Mario Party and their little fitness board.
As
Just
far
to
as the
show
mini
you.
games go, I mean, their
Yeah,
fitness,
I
Wii
mean,
Fitness, there
fitness.
was a bunch of mini games. I mean, it just wasn't as fun as what this looks like. So
Sure,
yeah, I
sure.
mean, I played a little bit at a buddy's house and just to try it out, and I mean, it was mini games. It wasn't just exercise. So they tried. I don't think they succeeded as far as the fun level goes. And this game could be awful. I mean, we could get it. Sugo could get it and say it's not fun at all. You saw the funnest parts of the game, but
Yeah, we only saw the
yeah,
step to the piano step or whatever they
yeah,
called it.
and the push-up competition
And the
between.
push-ups,
Yeah.
here's what I thought was interesting about that one section. They're doing the push-ups, but they can't see the screen because they're doing
Mhm.
push-ups. So the immersion kind of falls apart on
On
that
that, yeah,
particular
that
one. So
particular
it'll
exercise.
be
Yeah.
interesting to see what other activities they include.
Yep. Oh, we'll hear more about it soon. I don't remember what the release date was on that one. I don't know if they even mentioned it, but hopefully we'll see more on that one. Next game, another Ubi art game, same um, graphics engine as was used in, was it Rayman Legends and
Yep,
Child
Rayman
of
games and
Light.
Child of Light.
It's called Valiant Hearts: The Great War. Um, looks interesting, looks emotional.
yeah, I won't get it. I have a soft spot for animals, and even seeing that dog look sad. No, I'm not doing it. I would tear up. I'll admit it. I would fucking cry to
You
that
should
game.
watch
That just
Marley and Me.
no.
Watch you sob like a
I
little girl.
refused, man. I know what happens at the end of that, and I refuse.
Oh, there's another movie. I'll have to give you the title of. I cried like a little girl on that one, and
Is it the one
same
about the
thing with the
Akita?
dog.
That,
Richard Gere
yeah,
is
that's
in
the
it.
one. It's actually a Japanese movie, based on someone in
Yes.
Japanese that they made a U.S. version of. Yep,
Oh
that
my
was a
God.
tearjerker as well. I used
I
to
thought
have
Turner and
Akitas.
Pooch was bad enough.
No. All right, while we're way off topic. Okay, so
Yeah.
Valiant Hearts. For anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's a very stylized looking game. I have no idea what the gameplay is even. Have they showed much of the gameplay really?
They were showing the gameplay on stage. I don't know. It's based on letters from World War II, I guess.
Yeah.
And they read them, and I don't know. It's art.
It's
I mean,
it's definitely a story-driven game. I don't think it's going to
yeah,
be necessarily a gameplay-driven game. I think
yeah.
it's relying on the story to make you pull you in, which is fine. I mean, games like that have a place. So maybe I'm
hmm
wrong, and it'll be very gameplay focused, but um, it's
If
piqued
it's
my
anything,
interest.
yeah, if it's anything like Child of Light, it'll be good. So.
Yep. And especially if it's priced the same. I mean, for $20,
hmm
Child of Light. I didn't beat Child of Light, but everyone I know who's played it, and from what I got out of it, it's well worth $20. So if this game is priced similarly, which I would imagine it is, I'm sure it'll be well worth $20. Anyone else?
It was a game,
Mm,
It was a
and
game.
it made me kind of sad.
All
yeah,
I kind of liked it.
right.
it's kind of creepy as fuck. I'm
All right.
sorry.
So
Next game.
let's wrap up the Ubisoft conference with the last game they showed, which to a lot of people was one of the more impressive and I guess surprising things they showed, and that's Rainbow Six Siege. Um, it was gameplay, um, early gameplay. I don't know if it was said it was alpha or whatever they said, but it was early gameplay. Um,
Yeah.
it is this actually I think Landshark may have said it. Someone said it. It looks to me, or no, he said it about Battlefield Hardline. I think it applies more to this game, and it looks like Counter-Strike, like classic Counter-Strike on steroids. It's, you know, basically SWAT style against bad guys. At least this game mode. I'm sure there's other game modes, but they had to go in, rescue the hostage. That was it. That was the premise of it, and it
I
was, it's
Blown
yeah.
away.
I wasn't
I don't
nearly as
remember.
impressed with it, by the way. Just to get that out of the way, I thought it looked really good,
Oh,
but I
I want
was
you to
not.
smack yourself
Everyone
hard
else,
right now.
I could hear people's jaws hitting the floor, and I was just like, it looks good, but it doesn't look to me any better than Assassin's Creed or Hardline or Far Cry. It just looks like another game in a different vein, and I've never been a Rainbow Six like huge fan. I've enjoyed them, but I've never been oh
It's
God, when's the
because
next one coming out? So
it's because you don't like stealth and you don't like taking your time. We know how you played
tactics.
Wolfenstein.
it's not even that. I've never really been a big tactical. Um, it's not even that I don't like stealth. It's that, especially with a multiplayer game, and this is why I got really burnt out on Counter Strike, is unless you have a great team of people who are willing to cooperate, it's a shit experience. So
I
You just said it right
yeah,
there. It's a totally team-based game.
yep.
Requires communication, planning, uh, to play the game right. So it'll be interesting to see the longevity it has because unless you're with a group of friends, it could get messy.
So yeah, if it's
Hey
played,
guys, let's go to this door.
I
Oh,
don't really
crap.
compare it to Counter Strike though, because Counter Strike you went in and planted a bomb. You didn't.
no, there was hostage rescue missions.
I
You
don't know.
didn't
I
you
Oh
don't
didn't
yeah,
play
play the
Counter
bomb
Strike
mode.
enough. there was
No.
DE
that
and
was
there
their
was the
big
other one,
mode.
CS, I think. So any of the
Yeah, I don't.
CS
CS,
maps
yeah.
were Counter Strike hostage maps, and the DE were the demolition maps. So
Yep.
Interesting.
yep.
Cool.
So
But I don't know, with being able to break in through like almost any part of the house like they showed,
mhm.
like the holes in the walls of the guns, it looks so like almost realistic, like an actual SWAT team getting into a house to rescue someone. And especially how they did the hostage, like you take the hostage with you, you can use it as a shield if you're the criminal. Like all those little touches
It.
just looked outstanding to me.
Yeah, when did she become an it?
Um,
Oh, sorry. Well, it's an AI.
You can
it's
rescue
it's
the maiden. You can rescue Carnal.
Yes, I will
Oh
play
The
the
my
house.
maiden.
God.
God. If I had to rescue Colonel, he's a perfect shield. I gotta say. um, I, I thought the destruction was too easy. Like the walls were definitely paper thin, which is fine for the game, but it wasn't anywhere near realistic. I mean, dear God, there were holes everywhere. The entire house was Swiss cheese, which was so awesome, but it was still Swiss cheese. And I mean, I'm sorry,
I
no.
don't know. Those SWAT mats, those are actual real things, and those can
Well,
blow
sure,
gigantic holes
sure,
in walls.
but
I don't know.
you're
To
not
me,
taking an MP5 and blowing out a chunk of an entire wall just by spraying bullets. It's not that. Anyway,
I don't
it does. It doesn't.
know.
It doesn't even matter. That
Hey,
game looked like it could be fun with a group of gamers that have common sense. Um, so you could have a
So you
lot
won't
of
be
fun
playing,
in
right?
it. Yeah, I won't be playing it at all. I'll be watching you guys on Twitch. Just the guy, shoot him, shoot him.
I don't know. It's just like every little detail they had from the beginning where you can plan where your entrance is and your exits and everything like that when you're going into the house to just all of it was amazing to me.
I think we'll get Chanogram to come at least play it. Maybe he'll rent a game, to see how
Yep.
he likes playing with us. Because I can only imagine at least enough of us will get it that we can play it once or twice a week and have a lot of fun with what it is.
Once or twice a week.
yeah. I'm not hating on the game either. I thought it looked good. I just don't think
Like
it was.
Titanfall.
Uh, I just don't think it looked as good as. And I'm not talking about the graphics, just the graph. I'm talking about the game itself. I just don't think it looked that much better than a lot of other games that were shown. And
Oh, sure.
I didn't
Graphically,
quite. No, I'm
no.
not talking about just graphics. I'm saying in general.
Uh,
It didn't look gameplay
okay.
or graphically any better than a lot of the other games that I'm just as excited for. So I thought it was kind
Sure,
of
sure.
odd to me that people were getting so geeked up for this game. And I guess those people are just Rainbow Six guys and
Yeah,
got
you've got a
Gales,
lot of
whatever.
Rainbow Six tactical guys. I mean, everything we saw was I mean, sure, there was some planning in Assassin's Creed, but there wasn't a lot of stealth planning it. And at any moment, shit can go sideways,
Yeah.
and you know,
I've never
uh,
seen a game with that much depth before, with planning and tactical and
Have you ever played what's that one? The Alien one. Um, shit. I can't remember what it's called.
but
It's right on
so
the tip of my tongue. Uh, I'll think of it. I'll yell it out when I think of it.
yeah, I mean, it just looked like, sure, maybe the game isn't going to be perfect at the end. Who knows? We just saw, this cool gameplay trailer, but from what we saw, if you didn't take it in any kind of depth, it looked like it was really fun what they were playing. They seemed to have a great time. We saw some really cool features
They seem, you mean
and kind of,
the canned gameplay footage? They sure seem like they were having a great time.
oh, you know.
I would love to see people playing it like canned footage. They're like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid. They need to fix this. I totally glitched out.
Just the way they
Right,
were
right.
communicating, it was obvious it was canned.
well,
'Cause there was
obviously
Well,
it
there,
was
Yeah,
canned.
we're just making fun of it
well,
'cause
sure,
it's
sure.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just funny. Canned
But I
communication
mean, it
cracks me up.
looked like you could have fun playing it too. It looks like the summer action flick. Lots of cool
I,
that's
explosions, holes in the walls, and shit can go sideways at any moment.
it just has
Other
so
than
much
that, there's no
potential.
depth. But yeah,
Like they just showed a house. I mean, imagine what else they could incorporate into that multiplayer.
yeah.
Banks, anything.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
Could be a really good version of Payday 2.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's the only other tactical game I can think of is Payday.
XCOM. Boom.
Oh, yeah, but that's not a first-person shooter.
Yeah,
That's a
Doesn't
tactical
matter.
first
You
that's
said
person
you've
shooter.
never seen a game with that much depth. You didn't quantify it as a first-person shooter.
okay. I've never seen a first-person shooter with this much tactical.
too late.
All right.
Yeah, I
Anyone
lost.
else have anything new to say about Rainbow Six Siege that we haven't already talked about? No?
It's amazing.
We've already said that, or someone already said it. It wasn't
Awesome.
me. Um,
I want it.
so let's wrap up the Ubi. I'll go last this time. You guys can go first. What you thought? Keep it to a minute and a half or so. We can move on.
All right, Connor, you want to go?
This. No, I'm not gonna say if this. Yeah. Anyway, no, this was an awesome conference. They had lots of games. They showed lots of gameplay. I mean, almost every single one of the games was awesome, and I want to play almost every single one. So.
Including Just Dance, right?
Okay.
But you did say almost. I just was wondering if
Especially
that was
Just
including that
Dance.
one. Yeah. Okay.
Especially Just Dance.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, laughing boy, your turn.
Oh, my turn. I thought Ubisoft had a comparable conference to Microsoft in terms of strength.
I like how I
Um,
say don't compare the conferences, and you actually
I
use the
know.
word comparable.
Well,
I,
Morgan, this
hey,
is a little slow.
I'm a little slow. I didn't
Anyways,
go into any depth. I
that's
didn't go
fine.
into any depth,
That's
but
fine.
they had an extremely strong showing. Not interested in the dancing, not too interested in the exercising thing, but every other title that they had there is a purchase for me. So, great showing by Ubisoft.
Yeah, I gotta agree with these guys. It was a really good showing. A lot of stuff to keep us interested. Very few lulls, unlike EA. Um, and everything we saw was maybe not exactly our games, but it was a lot of interesting stuff to keep our eyes open for and look forward to in the future. And bringing on Aisha Taylor and having her up there, she made a couple jokes. She kept everything really lively. She was a good host. So that helped, alleviate. They had her up there every time, and she always cracked a couple jokes. And she's pretty funny and an interesting game personality. So good gamer. But overall, it was very good.
She was tall in
Very, very
heels,
good.
that's for sure.
Oh, she is an Amazon woman. That's for sure.
Next conference.
She'd make a hell
Oh,
of a
I
Wonder
don't get to
Woman.
go.
No. Don't get to go.
All right. I'm gonna go anyway because you can't stop me. So, It's I'd like to disagree with these guys because that's just what I do, but I can't. It's Ubisoft had a good conference. Almost all of these games are buys for me, whether it's right at launch or shortly down the road when I have time. The only one that's probably not is Just Dance. The Crew, I would probably buy it if I didn't own an Xbox One and Forza Horizon 2 didn't look so goddamn awesome. So, it's just hard to buy a game that's so similar. And maybe they'll end up not being that similar, but everything that looks like they're very similar styles of game. So, unfortunately for the Crew, it's just a matter of, Forza comes out first and it looks a little better to me. So,
Unfortunately for all three of their
Yeah.
titles, I mean, each one's going to eat into the other.
Yeah.
So.
but otherwise everything looks great. The highlight for me, honestly, was probably the Far Cry 4 trailer at the beginning. That blew me away. I thought that was great. That was probably the highlight for me. There's some of the stuff I've already seen. We already saw Assassin's Creed. We already saw the Division at Microsoft's conference. Rainbow Six, I've already told you what my thoughts on that one are. So, Far Cry 4 all the way.
Mhm.
Yeah. We're gonna take another quick break, and then we'll be right back with probably the I want to say controversial, but you hear us bitch the most about the Sony conferences next. So stay tuned for that. Oh, welcome back. We're talking about Sony. Luckily, we have two people in the podcast this time that have PS4s, and Carnal and Mortimus. They like them to varying degrees. So we have some people who are already potential customers of some of these Sony games, and then I don't know if MW will ever buy a Sony console again, but I will plan to get one at some point here this year. So, yeah, I just can't picture MW ever buying it unless he had the extra money just to take a shit on it or something. So,
I got a fireplace in the backyard, so that might be a better waste of my money.
but all right, so let's get into the conference. There's a lot of items. We're gonna skip over or really touch on some of these because we're not gonna spend a ton of time on some of the indie games and stuff like that they spent time on. So, it was a very different conference than the other ones, so just keep that in mind. So let's start off. The first game they talked about was the Destiny. No gameplay. They announced an alpha, which is tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow,
I don't know. I can't. Who gets in that one? Do you guys remember?
PlayStation only.
Yeah, but who is it closed or I don't remember how you get in.
Close.
Something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
So
Closed alpha.
there's an alpha that's only for PS4. There's a beta that's coming first to PS4, which, if you believe the rumors and the ad that was put up and taken down supposedly 4 days earlier, we don't know if that's true or what. But and then they also announced at the same time a white PS4 console bundled with PS4, of course, bundled with Destiny. They announced that price. It was basically you get $10 off is what it looked like. I think it was $450 if I remember correctly. So
Wait, I don't. Did they announce
Yeah,
the price?
they did.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I just must have missed
if I'm
it.
wrong, you can rip me in the comments, everyone. But I'm pretty sure I saw it. It was $450. So I think they're just basically giving you $10 off the thing. But you get the white console. And if a white console looks better in your entertainment system, there you go. Yeah, they didn't show really anything new of Destiny. We already have seen quite a bit at this point of Destiny. Now we're all just kind of waiting to play it. So I'm excited for it. Although with all the other games coming out, my excitement's, I want to say it's diminishing, but it's leveling off. And some games are surpassing it at this point, which I wasn't sure was going to happen a month or two ago. So you guys can talk a little bit about Destiny if you'd like, even though they didn't show much, but just general thoughts since it was not mentioned anywhere else in E3.
I'm super excited for Destiny, as a lot of people are. I don't know. They didn't show any gameplay, which surprised me, actually. The trailer was cool and all, but we watched, at least me, I watched E3 to see some Destiny gameplay, but they are releasing the beta, or the alpha stuff tomorrow, which I did sign up for. I have yet to get into it, but maybe you can just get into it through the console. I don't know. I don't even know how it's working. I will be testing it out on PS4 if I'm in the beta. I will be purchasing it for Xbox One just because that's what I do with multiplats. But as for the game itself, the game's awesome, or looks awesome, and I really hope Bungie lives up to the hype.
Anyone else have a quick
Uh,
thought? And by quick, I mean quick, so we don't spend too much time on a game that they spent
it
not a
it
lot of
was
time on.
well, they spent 9 minutes on it, but it
Well,
was Destiny. It was gameplay ish, whatever.
it wasn't gameplay at all.
But they did, well, yeah, whatever. Um, I was actually pretty amazed that they had an alpha. I didn't see that one coming. I thought, you know, oh, they get the DLC and they get this beta a couple days early. Didn't see the alpha coming. That was quite the surprise. Kind of sad I don't have a PlayStation 4. And no, I might get a PlayStation eventually. Just there's nothing there. I don't need to waste my money.
If I'm in for it, I'll stream it for y'all if it's allowed.
Oh yeah.
With an alpha, I would be surprised, but you never know. Depends on what they decide to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be non-streaming.
Mortimus apparently
Nothing
has
else?
absolutely nothing to say on it, so
Yeah, we've seen Destiny trailers. It was kind of more of the same, and I'm still somewhat excited for it. But I'm with you, Chanogram. My excitement is kind of fading due to some of these other IPs that are coming out.
and that's not. I mean, it's Bungie. I think we all trust Bungie to come out with a good game, so I don't think anyone's concerned about it. It's just a matter of, okay, we've seen it now. Can we please just play it somewhere?
Yep, you got it.
So, yeah, we'll see. Uh,
PlayStation gets to.
Yep.
Damn.
So honestly, the bigger announcement out of all of that was probably the white console.
Yay.
I'm surprised. It's actually pretty early for them to do a variation. It is still the same hard drive and everything. It's literally just a white PS4 from what I got out of it.
But does it wobble?
That's free with every version. So the next game they showed was The Order. Is it 1886? I believe. I don't have the number in front of me. It's The Order 1886, I believe. One of the bigger games for PS4. They showed. It looked like gameplay. It was. It's a very pretty game. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. It looks good graphically. This particular clip for me didn't do anything because it looked like more of a cutscene with a couple quick time events section of the game, and I'm thinking that's not all the game's going to be. We've seen clips where they're running and shooting. Kind of was an interesting clip to show, just because I
Hey,
thought maybe they'd want to show off more actual, like, hey, this guy is
Action.
clearly being controlled by someone the entire time, and that's not what I got out of this. But either way, it looks good. This is one of the games I'm hoping turns out really good, because this is one of the games I actually want to buy when I get a PS4. So fingers crossed that it's not just, it's not Metal Gear Solid, in my opinion, where you play or you watch more than you play. So that's my only worry about it. But or maybe another good example would be like Beyond Two Souls, which might be a good game if you're into that, but it's a lot more cinematic than it is
didn't
game.
sell well, so I don't think you're the only one there.
But yeah, it looks okay. I mean, I want to see more gameplay personally, but otherwise, yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Carnal, I believe are interested in this game quite a bit, so.
I'm interested in it. I do have the same fears as yours. I did play through Heavy Rain. I did enjoy it. Of course, I'm gonna say this. I paid $10 for Heavy Rain, so if I would have had to pay the full $60, I would have been disappointed with that game. It's not worth it. However, this game looks like it has a little more interactivity than like Heavy Rain, but what they've showed seems really scripted lately, and it does worry me a bit. However, the graphics look outstanding, and I'm sure the story will be outstanding, but
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a little more in order to be an actual video game. So.
But the graphics are everything, man.
They
Everything.
they
Everything.
had the scene, and I agree with you, where It just looked like a cutscene with the press the triangle, but there was the scene where the guy starts transforming into the werewolf, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is my kind of thing right
Yep.
here," and I am just hoping the gameplay lives up to how this game looks so
Yep.
far, because I think it does look really good. I love steampunk, I love werewolves, and I love
Yep.
uh, blood and gore kind of games. This looks like it has all that wrapped up really nice, as long as we have the gameplay.
Yep. The setting's great. I actually like the old-timey, buildings and general feel of it with the sort of, like you said, steampunk slash sci-fi kind of thing, along with this fantasy world of the um, lichens or whatever the hell they're called in that game. I don't even know. Werewolves, I guess. Uh, yeah, that's Not there really wasn't anything new in the trailer. Let's just put it that way. So it's more of the same as far as it looks good. Show us more gameplay. So hopefully sometime in the near future they will show us some extended gameplay and not 20 seconds of Twitch. So
My
fingers crossed.
my personal thoughts was, and like Average had said earlier, since he's not here, I won't go into too much.
Let's
But
just put words in
he
his
didn't
mouth.
like
It's
the
fine.
game. Yeah, he didn't enjoy what they showed. He's still interested in the game, and so am I. But they picked a very bad scene, in his opinion, to show it off. Very claustrophobic, slow. We don't know if they're being played, if they're not. We don't know what is, CG and engine and what's actual, whatever. Of course, we haven't seen like
That was
we
in
were
engine,
watching
that's
the
for sure.
streaming.
That was in engine. I can
Okay,
promise you
yeah.
that. Yep. So I mean, because there were
But
parts where you were actually playing. I don't think that they were trying to pull anything over us. I think it was in engine. I just think it was a
no,
bad section to show. So
yeah,
um,
that's pretty much what I'm getting at. It was a
yep.
bad section to show. Maybe they should have started it off a little bit further in to closer to the werewolf, and that would have been a great place to start.
Yep.
But yeah,
All right. Well, moving on. They talked for more than I think they probably should have about this game called Entwined. Um, it looks okay. It's an indie game. It's out now, so if you have a PS4 and you're interested in trying it out, I think it's $10 on the PlayStation Store. I don't think any of us have played it yet, have we? Neither of you
No,
guys
I
have played
looked it up yesterday and
No.
read the synopsis, and it's about
it.
a bird and a fish that fall in love, and
But can't be together for obvious anatomical reasons.
pretty much
It's a
that
twin
was
stick game,
Yep.
and
yeah, it's
I'm not.
just
I hate games
not
like
my
that.
thing.
So
twin stick. I know it's not a hallway, but it's yeah.
it looks a little bit like the same sort of stylings as like Child of Eden if you played that for the
Yep.
Kinect for the
Yeah,
360.
yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a great if you're into that style of a game. It looked okay. I mean, it looks smooth. It's just not our style of game. It sounds like so. But it is out, uh, $10. So if you want to try it
It,
out, go ahead.
I'm
Let us know
I'm
if
sure
try
the
it.
the
So.
college students that made it will be grateful if you
Yep.
buy it and help pay for some of their college.
Yep, and it is. Yeah, it's not made from like a known indie studio. It's made by a group of college kids, I believe. Right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
it's got that going for it, which is probably why they showcased it. Honestly, just for that
Oh yeah.
unique aspect of it that it was made by, you know, students instead of an actual studio, um, and the fact that it was probably ready to go. So, hey, look at this game, it's out. Um, Next one, they talked about the Second Son DLC. Honest to God, I don't remember the name of it. I really should have this written down, and I don't.
I can talk about it.
Yeah, go
Something
ahead.
light.
I 100%ed Infamous, so I know quite a bit about it. The character is one of the characters that's in the game, and essentially you're playing through what happens earlier in the game through her eyes. So, um, that's it. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not. I know, right?
Yep.
I'm not interested in it. So,
So yeah, it's an add-on to a game that we've already seen. So there's the premise of it. It's if
I
you
heard somewhere it might be a standalone.
you can play it without having the game.
I
Yeah.
mean it's basically an add-on to a game, but if you can play it separately, whatever. I mean it's
No
still
one's gonna
Second
buy it
Son.
without
Yeah, it's not
botting Second Son, so
probably
might as
not.
well be tacked
Yeah.
to the game.
So that's that. If you enjoyed Second Son, you'll probably enjoy this, unless you're carnal. Or if you're just burnt out on it, you probably
I'm
might
burnt
not.
out
Yeah.
on it, dude. Oh my
So,
god.
but it's there. It's not out yet. It looks like August could be the release date, sometime.
Mm.
Next game they showed was one of their only AAA, in our opinion, AAA real full games that's coming out this year, and that's Little Big Planet 3. It kind of surprised people because Media Molecule, that's the developer, correct?
Yep.
Yep. So
Yep.
they had
Yep.
said that no, we're not going to be here. And I thought I read somewhere that Media Molecule technically isn't even developing this game. I could be completely wrong on that, but I'm just misremembering. But I thought someone said that it's actually, at least in part, another studio that's handling some of this game. So maybe they weren't lying. I don't know. Maybe they weren't there. Maybe it was the other people. I don't know.
I
But
think it was a
but either way, it's out.
trick.
It's coming out sometime this year. I can't remember what they said. Probably in the same time as every other damn game. So sometime in October or November. So I think they spent entirely too much damn time with this game, and it was actually really annoying because the people playing it were fucking terrible. If you're gonna have
So
people
true.
demo the game, please have them be good at it so they can progress in the damn level faster. So I don't need to see someone fail 3 times at trying to jump up a goddamn ledge. It's annoying.
I understand that it's annoying and everything, but have you ever played the Little Big Planet games?
Yes.
They all
Okay.
play like
They
that.
are hard to
Yes, but if
master.
you've played this level probably 50 times as a developer or someone who's
Yeah,
demoing it, you should
true.
have it down pat at that point and not screw
Chan-
up 3 times in a row and waste our time.
Chanogram, you are correct. It is developed by Sumo Digital.
So yeah,
So they weren't lying. They technically weren't there.
and I brought that up not to diminish the game in any way. I have no idea what this new developer is. I just figured it was worth mentioning that I had heard something about that. So
Yep.
the game itself, I thought looked pretty good.
It looks like
was-
Little Big Planet.
Hang on.
Yeah,
it
it's
was a
Little
Little
Big
Big Planet.
Planet, which is
They
not a
added,
bad thing. but-
They added some new characters. They probably added a few new, definitely a few new mechanics because of those characters. Otherwise, to me, it looked like Little Big Planet.
They added depth
So-
so you can go in the background and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but it's
You always had like 2 or 3 plans you could go through, though.
Yep.
That's always been.
yeah, kinda. But this looked a lot farther back. But you're right; they did have 2 or 3 levels.
Yeah.
It looks good
yeah.
though. I might pick it up. It's a might right now.
Yep, it's yeah. I mean, I don't think any of us hate Little Big Planet. I never really got into them. I didn't play a lot of PS3 games. I bought a lot of them. I didn't play a lot of them. My kids liked them. My
Yeah,
11-year-old
I played
it.
it with my kid, so they're great games to play together as a family.
Yeah, they're family game.
So I know people love the creation aspect of it, and I do enjoy looking at some of the creations people come up with. The good ones. Obviously, there's a lot of shitty ones too that you have to weed through. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting game. I think it surprised people a lot. Just because Media Molecule said they weren't going to be there, and
Mm-hmm.
They they kept
shocking.
it secret, which is something Microsoft couldn't do for any of their fucking games. So I got to give them credit there that this actually was a surprise in their conference. No one. knew
I
Little
gotta
Big Planet
praise
was
the
coming.
reveal too. That was kind of neat. How the lights just came back on. They're just standing there with the game behind them.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of cool.
So, yep.
Uh,
My only complaint was the actual demonstration of the game.
They over exaggerated the fun too much too. That kind of turned me off.
Yeah.
So
I went and took another bathroom break. It's a Little Big Planet.
that's pretty much all you have to say.
I'm sure
Yeah.
we're going to see more Mario ripoffs, and they're going to take them down again. But they're always neat little building tools for those that don't have the tools on the PC to do it.
Yeah,
so
let's move
they're
on.
fun.
Morris, do you have any specifics to add to it, other than you said?
No, I pretty much said what I had to say about it.
Okay. Shit, I lost my place. What the hell was the next thing? Oh,
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
So this is probably this is not a secret. The name was a secret. We didn't know that, but this is Project Beast. It's the From Software game.
It is the successor to Demon's Souls. They announced that.
is it spiritual successor or is it an actual like it's the next game?
I just read successor, so I don't know.
Yeah, in some form or another it is. So we'll just go with that since we don't have any more details on it.
I was excited for it until I heard it was successor to Demon Souls. So.
Yeah, I love From Software. I love the games they've created over the years. I'm not a big Demon Souls fan because it's hard, and I'm not a whiner when it comes to it. But I don't like feeling like I can't beat something.
Being punished over and
Yeah.
over again
Yep,
for
and
non-exact precise movements
yep.
that only
On, honestly, the only one I tried to play was Dark Souls. No,
Yeah.
Demon Souls, the first one. Dark Souls was the one that was on PS3 exclusive, right? Demon Souls was the first one on a 360, I believe.
No, Demon Souls was on
You had it backwards.
Or,
PS3
but yeah,
exclusive.
backwards. Okay, Demon Souls was the first one. Sorry, Dark Souls 1 and 2 was the two newer ones. I played Dark Souls, and could not get into it. I gave it about 30 minutes. I know that's not enough time to get into that game, but I've said before in other podcasts that if a game doesn't hook me in 30 minutes, I'm probably not going to pick it up again and play it. Um, I thought it was one of the more unpolished From Software games, and that's another thing that bothered me is I went in with high expectations of the overall smoothness of the game, and it did not impress me at the beginning of that game. So, Bloodborne, what do we really know about it? We know who's making it. We know the rough setting of it. It's dark and bloody.
and there was lots
And
of
we know it's
CGI
related
around.
Yeah, and
to
it's
Demon Souls somehow.
yeah, and we saw a CGI trailer. The CGI trailer
Yeah.
was cool. Uh,
Sure.
I need to see some gameplay though because I want to know what the hell kind of game it is. 'Cause if it's exactly like Dark Souls 1 and 2 in that vein, I probably won't pick it up. If it's something a little different, I'll probably pick it up.
Well, luckily Dark Souls is free on Xbox, so I can actually give it a try.
So, anyone else have any thoughts on the trailer or anything else about it?
Not really.
Kind of a letdown
It
for me
was,
personally.
yeah. I really wish they would have had as much as it kind of got hyped up behind the scenes and
Right.
through the rumors and leaks. I was really expecting some sort of a gameplay blowout. The fact that we only got a CGI trailer was a little disappointing, I thought. So,
Yeah, we just didn't get enough information. People were, I mean, they were blowing up everything on these things, but
yeah.
that was one they were extremely excited for. So
Yep.
some people might be satisfied. Looks cool. Let's see what you got.
Let's move on to something we all care about right now.
Yeah, well, one thing to note, Bloodborne is, as far as we know, exclusive to PS4 until further
Yeah,
notice. We
But
don't
they
know if
didn't
it's
say that.
we don't know if it's timed. We don't know if it's actually exclusive. Everything we've heard and what's been hinted at and rumored is that it is, but it, yeah, I mean they're not. They've done exclusive games before, that developer, so it wouldn't shock me. Either way, that's Bloodborne. Really not a whole lot of information about it. So, next game, Far Cry 4 again. This time, I believe they actually showed wasn't it like 5 or 6 minutes of gameplay, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it looks.
Absolutely mind blowing.
Yep. I won't talk about how it looks really. I'll just talk about what it was, and then you guys can talk about what you thought of it. It basically was. It went from being on foot to being in a car chase to blowing shit up in a fort. And before they went to the fort, he called in a co-op friend, and they flew in a helicopter together, basically. So it has co-op in some form. We don't know if you can always play co-op or if it's mission-specific co-op. We're unsure at this point.
According to their website, it said it's open world co-op, so you can drop in, drop out at any time.
Okay. So there's that. One thing they did say before we talk about what we thought of the game itself is there's a feature that's exclusive to PlayStation, and that's that you can, if you don't own the game and your friend wants you to come play with them, you can go play in their game without having a copy. We don't know if there's limitations on the site. What was the wording on the site, Carnal?
It says trial.
Yeah. What's
It
the
does say-
whole thing? Do you have it up?
Keep talking. I'll look it up
Okay.
real quick.
But yeah, I mean, the wording was really vague. We don't know if it's unlimited as many times as you want, or if it's like it mentioned free passes, and Carnal will give you the actual wording. And I don't know if there's a certain number of them. Maybe it's a time thing. You can do it so many times in a time frame. We don't know. Or maybe it's unlimited.
I think it was
Okay,
I
at
know
the
it wasn't mentioned. In
At the bottom
Go
of the
ahead.
site, it says PSN exclusive keys to Kyret. Invite your friends to join you in the open world, even if they don't own the game. The PlayStation exclusive keys to Kyret includes free passes for online co-op trial,
Yeah.
allowing you to capture outposts together, hunt and craft an open world, and gain experience and money with all your PSN friends.
So yeah, the word trial indicates that it's not unlimited. I've never
And
heard the word trial as in a hey, come try it out unlimited. That's not something I've heard.
I also
So
want to add this in just for those that are kind of confused.
yeah,
On the next scroll, you just click over and it says Open World Co-op.
yeah,
Far Cry 4 introduces drop-in Open World Co-op, the most requested feature from fans.
yeah,
And that's right next to that one, so
yeah.
that's for all consoles.
We need to be clear. The co-op itself is not exclusive to PlayStation 4.
Yes.
Only the aspect of not owning the game and jumping into someone else's game is. If Mortimus and I'm picking Mortimus because I like him better. If Mortimus and I both own the game, we can go play in each other's co-op games. That's the difference. So I think it's kind of a useless feature. I'm assuming Sony paid for this. I doubt Ubisoft gave it to them from the goodness of their heart. But it seems rather pointless because if you're into a game and you want to play it, the likelihood of you actually going in there maybe more than once is probably pretty slim. Because if I'm not into that game and you're sending me an invite, I'm going to tell you to stop fucking sending me the invite because I'm busy playing a game I want to play. If I wanted to play Far Cry, I'd probably go buy my own copy.
And if
Oh,
I'm
I'm
the
sure.
one sending the invite, I'm like, do I really want to invite this guy? Because he's gonna have no friggin' clue
Yeah,
what he's doing when he gets in there.
Exactly.
yeah. So I mean,
What's the shoot button?
it's a first
Oh,
of its
son
kind
of a bitch.
thing. So I will give it that. If this is a foot in the door kind of thing to something down the road that becomes more of a standard, sure, I'm all for it. But as a standalone like one-off thing here, it's kind of weird. But whatever. I mean, it's an exclusive thing that they can advertise, so more power to them.
Yep.
What did you guys think of the actual game itself? With not
Amazing.
talking about the other stuff.
Fucking amazing.
Look like fun.
Especially when
Yeah.
he was driving next to that guy. I think he was on a motorcycle or another vehicle,
He
and
was
he
in a car.
jumped in.
Yep.
Yeah, and he jumped into the fucking tanker truck or whatever, and just, oh man, that was
Stab
so
the
awesome.
guy.
Stab the fucking guy in the neck or something. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I called that one ahead of time now.
And then they have the gliding suits, and instead of the
Oh yeah, just jumps out of the truck as it drives off
Yep.
the edge and just glides, and I'm like, that is so sweet.
He also had a grappling hook, didn't he?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's like Just Cause first person to me, and that's amazing.
Oh yeah, people love that game for that aspect. So
Yeah,
why
Just
not
Cause
take it
2
and make
rather.
it better?
Sorry.
Yeah, Just Cause 2 was a much better game.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it it's gonna be fun, and especially if you have co-op and you can do all that shit together, that would even make it more fun.
All right. Anything else, Mortimus? Other than you said it was fun, or looked fun, I should say.
Yeah, that's really all I care about.
Okay.
I want my games to be fun, and that looks like fun.
All right.
Getting the elephant to help you attack.
By the
was
way, do
sweet.
you and Mortimus want a room, Chano? 'Cause
No, we're
you
good.
still like him a little.
No, because
better
his
than-
lightsaber is probably still out.
Oh,
we gotta
wow.
press on a little bit here because this is already going way too long. There's so much shit to
Yeah.
get to. They went ahead and thanked NeoGAF and Reddit for, I don't know what the fuck they thanked them for. I missed that part, or maybe my subconscious tuned it out because it was so ridiculous.
That was a very boring speech to begin with. So yeah, we all tuned it out.
By the way, I gotta say, and I'm gonna bring this up later, but I was bored to tears by the execs talking in this, so I'll touch on it later. But
They
if
talked
I
a
say that I
lot.
missed parts of this, it's because I was so fucking bored during parts of this this thing that I just stopped listening at points. So I apologize if I don't have all the details. So you guys will have to help me fill it in. Dead Island 2, they showed a fucking great trailer.
Dead Island always shows great trailers.
Yeah.
True.
That's the problem.
No, Dead
The game
Island.
was good
Dead
too.
Island 1 was a good game. It may not have lived up to
Oh
the
no,
trailer,
no, I'm
but
not
it was a
saying
good
it's
game.
a good, but that's the problem. They show great trailers, and it has dick all to do with the actual game, and then people get pissed because if you're going to show a trailer, at least for the love of God, make it part.
Well,
Show off
Oh,
something in the
okay.
game that we might be
guess
interested
I gotta
in.
disagree with you on that one.
this one was a little more towards the game. The game had humor when you were playing it, so this one fits in a little
Sure.
bit. But I do kind of agree with MW on the first trailer for Dead Island. The slow motion, the sadness. You thought it was going to be an all
Yep.
serious game, and then it was an open world, funny
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
zombie
not
game.
get too much into the
Oh.
first one just because.
Yeah.
But
It'll be a good game.
hopefully.
That's all that matters. Yeah, hopefully.
With Dying
And
Light out, it's going to
the
be interesting to see what
trailer
it looks
was very funny. The music I've actually looked up, and I think I'm going to end up buying or downloading or
It-
something
that
because it
was-
was actually really good music.
Was
to
that
go
the
along
Tears
with
for
the trailer.
Fears one?
Whoa!
No, no,
Oh,
no.
that wasn't
Tears
that
for
one. That
Fears was
Whoa,
Assassin's
whoa.
Creed.
Oh, okay, yep.
The
Yeah.
beautiful remake of that song.
So,
Yeah, it was,
But,
it was great.
yeah, I think we might have got a sneak peek of the new playable characters there too, with the guy jumping out and grabbing the sneakers off that zombie. Dude, it's new kicks. I did really enjoy it, but yeah, you know, they make great trailers, so that's what I expect.
Yep. There is a beta. I can't remember if it was an exclusive beta. Sometime
I
later
know
this
it's a
year, I
beta.
think.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
probably exclusive. Yep.
But yeah, there's no gameplay, just a trailer. But it was cool to see that it's coming because I enjoyed the first one and Riptide. I played them both. So
Did not play Riptide, although I heard it was much better than the first.
it was more of the same, honest to God.
But by the way,
Ah,
Chin, on
fair
that
enough.
next thing, it's a Last of Us dungeon, not what it says.
Okay,
Diablo
yeah,
3.
gotcha. Yeah, I think I was a mistype for whoever wrote that. Mortimus, you were quiet through that one. Or did you not play Dead Island?
I have never played a Dead Island game. I can only take so many zombies, and I just
It's-
never picked one up. So I can't comment other than say the trailer was very entertaining.
Well, I will say if you enjoy co-op, like open world style co-op, you'll enjoy this game, assuming they don't change up the
Yeah,
formula too
more
much.
action co-op, less
Yep.
shooting co-op. But there's a lot of melee weapons in the game, so
It's fun to play through on co-op. I was bored of Tears playing by myself, but it was fun playing co-op.
Mhm.
So
yeah, it's an RPG
Yep.
type. You level up, put abilities, make yourself better. Yeah.
All right.
Go slice some
Next.
zombies in
next,
half.
yep, we got to go
Yes,
on.
sorry.
Yeah, go YouTube it, Mortimus, if you want to know more, or ask us after the podcast or tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Diablo 3. It's already been announced. It's coming out for both platforms, both next-gen platforms, I should say. PlayStation's getting an exclusive dungeon, modeled after Last of Us enemies, I believe. Right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
clickers and stuff.
Clickers, boomers,
So-
or whatever they said.
Pretty cool. Ultimately, probably pretty pointless in the end.
Nice little bonus
Yep.
for 'em, though.
Yeah, it's neat.
Oh, sure.
It's a cool thing to do. If it's one
Better than some
dungeon, it's
silly
not
armor.
gonna. Yes, I don't think it's gonna make it any. It's not gonna add on to the length of the game by a significant margin. Let's just put it that way. But it's a cool feature they're getting. Not much more to say about Diablo 3. It's a remaster. It is what it is. If you like Diablo 3 on any other system, you'll probably like it on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yep.
So.
Next.
Yeah, pretty much. Battlefield Hardline.
Trailer.
They had a trailer, yep, and then an announcement of they are doing betas for the PS4, right?
And the PC.
And the PC. Was it PS3? I can't remember what it was. It was
No,
basically
only PlayStation 4,
PS4?
only PC.
so basically it's not the Xbox One for sure. So
No announcement on exclusivity, when we'll get it, if anybody else will get it, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, nothing really new on the Battlefield news. So we've already talked about Battlefield Hardline. It's just a matter of them showing a trailer and saying, "Hey, we have, exclusive beta access." So there's lots of videos of people playing it already at the conference. So check them out if you're interested. Yeah, that's not much more to say about that one either. So
Oh.
some of these are going to be able to blow through because they've already been talked about. So that's one of them. Paradox Magica 2. I have no idea. I vaguely
Live
remember
action
this. Oh, that one.
magician blew up the cat.
Oh
It wasn't even that
yeah.
funny. After seeing the
Terrible
Dead
looking
Island 2
Yeah.
gameplay.
trailer,
They should have led
it
with this
wasn't
one
that
before
funny.
the Dead Island one, yeah, because the Dead Island
Yeah,
was much funnier.
no,
Um,
that's enough of that.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, let's move from that one. It was
It was
whatever.
silly.
Yep. Grim Fandango. This got a big rise out of the crowd. I've
Yeah,
never played this game.
me neither.
I don't know anything about it. I tried to look it up.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, it's 15, 20 years old. It's an awesome game. It's old style, like point and click adventure, I think is the
Is
correct
it
term.
like in the same vein as like a Mist and stuff like that?
Same vein as Monkey
Um,
Island.
yeah, like Monkey Island and King's Quest, those kind of games. It's an awesome game, beautiful artwork. Uh,
Even back
That's
then,
it
it
though.
was
They're
just a
not changing the
beautiful artwork.
story. Yeah, it was great back then. So it's nice to be showing it to a totally new audience
Mhm.
who probably has not seen it and never played it before.
But then they're gonna play
Awesome
it,
game.
find out it's a point and click adventure, and never play it again
A lot of
because
people
no
probably.
one play them.
People
None of the
do,
new generation
but
really
not
Actually,
cares.
console gamers typically don't. Like those
Yeah.
kind of games. But
I kind of disagree because now that I know it's a point and click like Monkey Island, I'm actually more excited for it. I love Monkey Island, so this will be a new adventure for me.
But I mean, your target audience has either already played it, or the majority of them. I
well,
can't speak for everybody. We don't
what
know.
is it? Is exactly because I didn't know anything about this game, so I tried to listen, but I didn't follow it because I don't know the
Like a
game.
mystery
No, no,
point and
no, no,
click.
not that. I'm talking about what is this game in relation to the old one? Is it a remaster, basically with updated
Yeah,
graphics? It's not a whole new
Remastered.
game,
Yep.
correct?
No,
Okay.
No,
remaster.
just a
So this is basically a
re-envisioning.
redo. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So same story and everything. Maybe they'll add some stuff, but
Yep.
it's not a whole new game. Okay. That
And
was my
Right.
question.
it's a great story. It's funny. It's
It's Grim
worth playing if you
Fandango.
never if you've never played it before. It's worth picking up just to relive what games used to be.
Yep. All right. Since none of the rest of us know anything about it, I'll move on. Uh, Broforce and some other indie games were announced.
And it showed about 6 of them up there at screen at once.
Yeah, it was kind of like one of
Still a
those
quick
montage things. Yep.
montage. Yeah.
I believe Average noticed it, and I noticed it too. I don't believe any of these games that they announced at that point were actually exclusive. So it was just kind of a highlight of some of their indie games, I think. Like Broforce is clearly not an exclusive game. I believe we actually talked about it in the Microsoft
Yeah.
conference because
Yep.
they had it shown there too. So I can't remember what the other ones were. I'm not a big indie guy, so I really don't watch them other than to try and keep them for the podcast. But if you guys remember anyone specifically from that list that you'd like to talk about, go for it. No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So we're all a big indie game.
I'm not indie guy either.
So,
Yeah.
Broforce
the
is
games
hilarious. Go get it.
Broforce, the
Yeah.
trailers are hilarious. I have not played the game, but if they're anything like the trailers, Broforce could be really fun.
Next.
Broforce, Titan Souls, Not a Hero, Hotline Miami, and the Talos Principle.
So
There you go.
I don't know if all of those are coming to other platforms. Well, I'm sure most of those are coming to PC or already
The
there,
only one
like
that
Broforce. So
Yeah. Some of them might not be coming to Xbox, but they're all going to be on PC. I know Vita. Yeah.
all right, so that's enough on indies for those indies anyway. Let It Die. It's a new Suda51 game. If I remember correctly, and my mind is shot after watching so much freaking video game stuff, this is the trailer that I believe was CGI. At least not gameplay. Let's just put it that way. I don't think it was actual
No.
gameplay of people just killing people.
Yep.
That's what I remember about it. It looked bloody and gory. I don't know
Looked like a
anything else
Suda
about
51
it.
game.
I don't know anything about
There you
Suda
go.
51, so I'm intrigued, but I don't know anything about the actual game. So
Japanese funny, blood, and bloody violence. That's his games in a nutshell.
all right, fair enough. So any impressions on that one? No.
Honestly, I don't even think it was CGI. I think it was real live action.
I thought it was game.
Well, I'm watching it now and I see live action stuff. So
Maybe the graphics are
Either
just that
way.
good. those
I
1080p's.
no.
All right. Well, either way, it was a
No.
trailer. We don't know much of what the game's going to be, other than it's probably going to be really bloody and violent, which is fine. But next game was ABZU. For the love of me, I can't
Giant
remember.
Squid,
By the way,
the
there
guys
was
that did Journey.
Oh
Right.
yes, gotcha.
Yeah,
What's
you're
that,
in with the
Carnal?
fish and the whales.
there was some gameplay in the Let It Die trailer, little bits of it.
Oh, was
It
it?
was live action and gameplay.
Was it actually gameplay though? Like someone actually controlling
It
it? Or,
no, it just showed what the game looks like in game, like
okay.
attacking and stuff.
All right. Well, I'll have to go rewatch it maybe. I don't remember being all that impressed by it. So,
It doesn't look that great to me.
ABZU. Yeah, this is the. It's not the team behind Journey, if I remember correctly. It's the guy. It's the lead of the team who did
Oh,
Journey.
okay.
It's his new studio. Is that right? Does anyone remember? Yeah, Giant Squid is the name of the studio. It's not the same studio though. But it's the same director or whatever it is, creative. I don't know what the guy's position is, but I didn't play Journey. I wanted to, but it didn't come to Xbox, or at least not in time. I can't remember if it even ever did.
Never.
It looked
Come
okay.
on,
It
man,
got
it
a
was
lot
the
of
game of
critical
the year
success.
last
Yeah,
year.
got a lot of critical success. Did you guys play it? Anyone?
Nope.
I didn't.
Yep.
Okay, well, we're great. None of us play the games.
It looks interesting, but I don't know.
Journey
I want
looked
to play a
interesting.
game. I want to play a game, not a walk through sand.
Well, Journey actually
And
looked
very
interesting.
slow paced.
This game looked fucking boring from what I saw. I know it's just a trailer with some gameplay in it, but my God, it did not look like my type of game. So, if you enjoy Journey and you are looking forward to this, more power to you. Let me know how it is. So, yeah, I don't.
Year after launch, Journey just hit 1 million, so that's how critically acclaimed it was. Didn't mean
Well, critically
sales.
acclaimed means nothing with sales. We know that. So I don't like to associate those two at all. I think they had another reel of indies. I don't remember any of them specifically that stood out. Anyone? I really, honest to God, just like my eyes glaze over when they go into the indie reels. Like wait, poke me in the arm when they're going on to a new game. The next game though is technically an indie game, but it looks awesome, and that's No Man's Sky. They showed it was a trailer,
Dinosaurs.
but it was an actual in-game, I think, representation of what it's going to look like. It looked to me like kind of like a fly-through or walk-through of the game, but it wasn't.
Technically, I guess it was just ahead of a first-person camera because it's what it seemed like.
Well, yeah,
It was
I just mean
slow.
I don't know if it was actually that's what it's going to look like when you're controlling the person, or if that was just to demo the visual style of the game. I don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
it's super unique visually.
Procedurally generated, giant game. You'll never ever see all of it, ever.
Yep. So yeah, a couple cool things they announced on that one. Every person starts on their own planet, which is completely unique. No person will ever start on the same planet, which is, pretty impressive. Basically, it's a limitless game. So pretty ambitious for a guy in a studio who is probably most famous for Beautiful Joe or something like that. I mean, it's a pretty different game than what they're typically making. So, what did you guys think of that one, Mortimus?
There were some really interesting. The color palette, first of all, kind of sets it apart from any other game I've seen in terms of the breadth of it, depending on what planet you go to. Creature design, there were dinosaurs, there were, great creature design
Great
throughout
big
the things I've
dinosaurs,
seen.
not little ones.
Yeah.
Big ones.
And then, of course, you go off to another planet, and it looked like you might be able to do some space battles along the line as well.
Flying around in a little X-wing is what it looked like to me.
Yeah, so I don't know the entire depth of this game. It's really got my interest piqued because it's mixing so many different things together, and it could just be phenomenal. I'm just kind of a wait and see what it really is all about, because we've just seen glimpses of the actual gameplay itself.
If I can only imagine if they put some creativity and some building stuff into it, like you know you can build your own house and your own ship and stuff like that. It will be bigger than what's that other stupid blocky game? Um, but right now we just
Minecraft.
saw, yeah, bigger.
Oh
It'll
yeah,
be
the
bigger than
biggest game in
Minecraft.
the freaking world. That one.
Yeah, it's gonna be bigger
Yeah.
than that. It's just,
If you, I mean, but those are small areas and you're limited in what you can do. Sure, there's a lot of creativity, but this game, it's unlimited. You'll never see all of it.
Well, it's
You can only stare at the same Earth block so long. Just saying.
uh, my opinion on it, to be honest, and I'm just gonna be honest here, um, I'm not that impressed. It looks boring to me, and I've never been a big space game type of person, so
right.
the overall color palette, like I know Mortimus liked it, but to me
No,
it
no,
just
I didn't say I liked it. I said it was
oh
interesting.
oh okay okay
I
it
thought
just look-
the red hurt my eyes, to be honest,
yeah
on the one
it
planet.
looked kind of
Yeah.
stale to me, and I'm sure it's gonna be a great game, and maybe I'll get it and maybe I'll enjoy it. Just right now it's not my thing.
Fair enough.
Well, apparently he doesn't have a red lightsaber. It's a green one, so.
All right. So let's power through some of these other ones and try to get to the end of this damn thing.
It goes quick for
I'm
me.
gonna burn through some of these. If you guys have something you want to interrupt me and talk about, do so. Otherwise, I'm just gonna plow through some of these next few items. So,
Go for
um,
it.
here we go. Uh, they went. This is where it got really, really boring, honestly, for most people. Even PlayStation fans were complaining about this area of the conference. So they talked numbers. They talked Morpheus. Not a lot about Morpheus because there's nothing to really talk about at the point. They announced there's
Two
going to be
new
two no
games to
demos that
demo.
are not demos of Eve Valkyrie, I guess is a big one if you're into Eve, but yeah, nothing groundbreaking there yet. Um, other crap. They announced that of PS4s, 95% of them are online. Yeah, shocking that the early adopters of a next gen system are playing online. I'm pretty sure the Xbox One's probably right up there too. Um, YouTube is coming. YouTube sharing, I should say, is coming later this fall
They talked
sometime.
some other PlayStation Network numbers.
Yeah, it's the
They
most
weren't even
robust
worth
place or something like
writing
that. Yeah.
down for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. Stuff is just throwaway, honestly. I just bring it up because we're going over all the conference. So, some new free-to-play games, or not, maybe not even new, just ones coming to the PlayStation.
Stuff we've already seen.
Yep. Yeah, nothing new there. No new free-to-play games that they haven't talked about before. Uh, PlayStation Now, which is their streaming service, is going to start with PlayStation 3 games, and it's open beta on July 31st for anyone who wants to try it. Hopefully it works well, because if it works well, it's a proof of concept for everyone else to try and do it, and that includes Nintendo and Microsoft. So it'd be nice to see it. I actually want that to work. I don't want that to fail, honestly. So Vita stuff, nothing stood out to me there. This one was interesting. The PlayStation TV. Basically, what it is a little device that is essentially a permanent Vita, but it allows you to stream your PlayStation 4 to any TV that it's hooked up to. It's sort of like a little, I don't know what to call it. It looks like almost like a little mini router, kind of. So it just goes off your network.
They say it's about as big as a cigarette box.
Yep,
There you go.
it's small. It's a cool feature. I actually wish this was coming to more systems, including Microsoft. It's $100, and there's also another version, $130, where it comes with a new, or not a new, but another DualShock 4 controller.
3.
HDMI cord. What's that?
3.
3?
DualShock 3.
I thought this was DS.
4.
Oh, this one doesn't come with a DualShock 4?
No,
Oh.
DualShock 4s are.
Oh, that's right.
not
It's
working right
touchscreen.
now.
They don't. Yeah, touchscreen doesn't work on these yet. So that's correct. I forgot about that. Thank you. DualShock 3 controller, an HDMI cord, and an 8 gig memory card. I'm sure it uses proprietary bullshit cards just like the Vita does.
Yeah, it uses the Vita cards
So any game that doesn't require you to use touch on the
or
PS4,
motion
yep, or the
or camera
yep.
or
So
microphone.
honestly, that's most games.
Right. Right.
And then yeah, I mean any game that doesn't require that and you can play without, you can play, I believe. So it's a cool thing. It's really early. I'm sure they'll hopefully add some support to it and whatnot. Um,
For $99, they just killed their Vita, didn't they?
no, because it's not portable. I mean, if you want to take something on the go, that's what the Vita is for. It doesn't really have full remote play, the PS TV, whereas the Vita does have, actual remote play. So it is what it is. I mean, we'll have to see how it actually works in the U.S. with the internet and on people's actual home networks that I know. I don't trust the internet as far as what Sony says it works. Okay, well I want someone to try it. So if I don't have a PS4 by then, Carnal
Yeah,
or Mortimus,
it's
try it
already out
out.
in
Let me know.
Japan,
I don't trust them.
and honestly, I mean, sure, but I haven't heard anything said about it. Like,
Yeah, it's not a
has
sensation over
no
there
one?
necessarily. So,
No, at all.
but again, it could be a lot bigger here because I think we Americans like our
We
TV.
like to sit in front of our TVs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. This game I'm excited for, but not drastically excited. So I'll let one of you guys talk about it. I will say the game name, and that's Mortal Kombat X. Someone who's diehard. Let's go with
I
Carl. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably the
I'm gonna
most
step away for a
biggest
minute, so I'll be back
Mortal
before you
Kombat
finish, probably.
fan. This game looks absolutely fucking amazing to me. As do many other games, but I have been a Mortal Kombat fan since Mortal Kombat the original. So, um,
Super and Genesis
yep.
and
And
arcade.
the game looks really good. This one you get three different fighting styles. They brought that back. I didn't learn this from the conference. There was actually another thing I watched on IGN, but
This is
the
the
fit.
first gameplay we've ever gotten to see of it, so
Yeah, this is the
that
first
was pretty
gameplay.
sweet.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was fun, and I'm glad they're bringing new characters in. I believe there's been three new characters announced so far, and that's good. They're progressing towards new characters and bringing classics back, so that's always awesome. It
Get
takes
over
place,
here.
yeah, it takes place 20 years after Mortal Kombat 9, so I'm interested to see where the story goes. But overall, it looks really fun, and I will definitely be picking it up because I absolutely love Mortal Kombat and fatalities and all that kind of junk. So,
Oh yeah, I used to really love them on the Super and played with my buddies and oh dude, you check out this fatality I actually learned because you had to read them. They just
oh
weren't
yeah.
kind of built in. You had to kind of find out about them or mess
hmm
around. But that's pretty much when my love for Mortal Kombat died. When they just
When the internet was invented.
yeah, pretty much. When
Yeah.
the internet was invented and you had it started going sub 3D on like the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation
Yeah.
1. I was just like, okay, and I got other things to play.
Yeah, I never really liked like Mortal Kombat 4 or
Now,
1
Mortal
3D.
Kombat, the movie was pretty sweet. Anyway,
Yeah. But as for the game, like I said, it looks awesome. It looks like it plays awesome, and it'll be a big contender for any other fighting game, I believe. They are adding a lot more into it, it seems like, and if it's anything like Mortal Kombat 9, it'll sell really well. They sold close to 4 million copies with Mortal Kombat 9, so
I
it
still
is a
find that
success.
crazy, but that's great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, that's all I can really say on Mortal Kombat. I'm excited. Mortimus,
Um,
anything?
I would say something if I could. I can't play fighting games anymore because I broke my left wrist in multiple places, and for some reason playing fighting games is severely painful for me. It
just
looks
too
awesome,
strenuous.
but I'm not going to be able to partake in it. I tried playing Killer Instinct and had to quit after 2 rounds. So I think it looks really fun. I love the one new character that has the little kid who sits up on his back and he can toss
Yeah.
her and she can do knife moves. I think that's an
Stab him.
awesome character. Very anime-esque kind of design on that combination there. So the fatalities that they showed Even the
The
CG,
holes in the
just
chest.
just
Yeah.
phenomenal looking. It makes me want to be able to play it. Eh,
Actually, sorry, go ahead.
no, nothing. I just can't.
I actually saw
Wow.
3 more fatalities after that. It's actually really cool because the character you're talking about with the little girl on the guy's back, it's very dynamic because if you throw the girl, she has to run back to his back, and in that time you can't do those special moves, so it's not automatic. So you really have to strategize with that kind of character.
Yeah.
Um, just to tell Mortimus, I'll tell you the fatality I saw. Essentially, the little girl is on his back, and she stabs the guy while standing on his back in the face, and jumps over him, and then slices him all the way down the center, and he falls apart, and the big guy throws his 2 halves onto the ground. So, I mean, they still got their creativity with the fatalities, thank God.
Toasty.
All
Yeah,
right.
pretty much. Fun stuff.
So did
Moving on.
you guys all get your say in that one?
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. I have nothing more to say about it. So I don't dislike or love it. It's just looks cool. Um, they talked forever about this new show they're doing, which is going to be on their, I don't know what the hell they're calling it. I can't remember. PlayStation Original stuff, I guess is what they're calling it. PlayStation Originals or something, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So their big one they're pushing right now is called Powers. They had this dude up here for felt like an eternity. Um,
We said it felt like about 15 minutes. It was actually only 5, and that's how long it dragged on. Like, oh my God.
it's
Off the stage, Penguin.
yeah, the show could be cool. I'm not. It's not to take away from the show itself, but they wasted a lot of time at the conference talking about a show that literally all they had was like concept art and storyboards. Like really, like
Yep,
at least
really.
have like a trailer or something, or keep it to a minimum. Like, hey, we have this in development. Here's a couple quick, I don't know, something. Freaking boring. Then they announced PlayStation Plus gets Powers for free, which I just kind
And
of
everybody gets the first episode for free, whether you have PlayStation Plus.
yeah.
So in other words, with the 95% online, everybody gets it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the fact that it's free for PS Plus subscribers seems fairly obvious to me. Similar to Microsoft.
Yeah.
If Microsoft charges for their Xbox original content, I'm going to be pissed. If you're a gold member.
Yeah.
I would assume they're going to give that away for free to gold members, but who knows? They haven't really announced that, I don't think, yet. But it's just an assumption I have, and hopefully, I hope to God I'm not wrong. So Ratchet and Clank, they're making a movie. The animation actually
It's a
looked pretty
movie.
good. It's a Ratchet and
Mhm.
Clank. I've never played much of Ratchet and Clank, so I don't know the style of humor and that kind of stuff. But it looked like a movie that I'm sure my kid will want to go see or rent or buy or whatever you have to do to play it or to.
Light comedy with a couple fart
It's in
jokes.
theaters.
Is it going to be a theater release? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that was my thing. So I'm sure I'll be going to see that one. And I like animated movies, so I have nothing against that. They're remaking the first Ratchet and Clank. And I don't know if it's is it a full remake or is it touch up remaster, kind of like the Halo style remasters?
I think it's a remaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good news for if you're a longtime Ratchet and Clank fan. Do any of you guys love the Ratchet and Clank series?
I've never played one. I will play this one, but I've never played one before.
They're good games.
Okay, yeah, I've
No
heard they're
question
good.
about
I
it.
just never
Well,
played
except
one.
for the last one.
They were what, Insomniac games, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Insomniac.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Sunset Overdrive is making me want to play them. So.
I should say they did make note that Insomniac is having some creative input and at least some involvement with the Ratchet and Clank movie. So that's kind of neat
Oh,
that the
Yeah. Well,
that's
original kind of
nice.
creators are, giving their, thoughts on it at least, if nothing else.
Should make the whole damn thing.
and here's where it goes back to being interesting.
Yep. So Last of Us,
Loudly.
July 29th, touched up HD, whatever the hell you want to call it, their remastered version. I'm
You
gonna
really
get it.
couldn't tell from the trailer.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
I liked it enough to play it again.
Yep.
So.
I'm sure it'll look good. I don't know how much better because let's face it, Last of Us looked pretty good on PS3.
Yeah.
So, it's in the same vein as I think Tomb Raider, honestly. If you played it on the original system, you're probably not going to get too much out of playing it on the new system. If you were a giant fan of Last of Us, sure, you'll probably pick it up for the PS4, just like I did with Tomb Raider for the
You'll
Xbox
pick it up
One.
for the trophies,
But-
just like some of us
Is that a
picked it up
fact
for the
joke?
achievements.
No.
And I think you
You're a
get the,
giant fan.
you get the DLC along with it, I think.
Yep, I think
You
I
get
heard
the
that too.
DLC.
So people like me who never played The Last of Us because I was too busy with other stuff and waiting for next gen, good news, because when I get a PS4, it'll be waiting for me to play. So
Didn't The Last of Us only have one story add-on? The
Yeah.
rest of it was multiplayer.
yeah, it was multiplayer. And then
Yeah.
you had one
Yawn.
big story add-on, I think. So I
And
don't
the
know.
multiplayer on that game was actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
That's,
Yeah, the multiplayer is actually really. I thought it was really good.
yep, that's what I heard.
Sure.
So not much more to say about that. It's a remaster. You guys, anything else on that?
Nope.
They showed a Metal Gear Phantom Pain trailer. It was an intense trailer.
Yeah.
Um,
Got my blood pumping after that hour of sleep I got out of them. So
yeah, it
that
brought
was
us
cool.
brought us
I
back to
enjoyed
life a
that.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a big Metal Gear guy. I should say I'm not a big recent Metal Gear fan. I like the older PlayStation ones, original PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Didn't care much for 4. And some of the other ones there. But anyone who is a Metal Gear fan have any thoughts on the trailer?
It was a good trailer. I mean, I still haven't played Ground Zeroes, but or the one that's before that. But I played all the other Metal Gears, and it's Metal Gear. I mean, more can I say? It's gonna be weird and great
Metal
gameplay.
Geary and
Yeah.
2-hour cutscenes again, and
It's one of the series of games that you really can't describe with words, in my opinion, because it goes from serious and shooty, and then it goes completely one fuck direction and then another. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Mortimus is quiet again, so I'm assuming he has nothing more to add.
Yeah, I don't really have. I'm not like really excited about that game.
Yeah.
Something needs to happen to get me excited about it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the guy. What's his face?
Kojima.
Yeah, I used to like him, but the more I see him hype up the dumbest shit, the more I just whatever.
the more I
follow
hear
him
Michael
on,
Jordan all over the industry, it pisses me off.
I follow
By
him
that
on
I mean
Twitter.
I'm done. I'm doing it again. I'm done. I'm doing it again. I'm
I
done.
don't care about that so much. I just
It's the Michael Jordan syndrome. Eventually, you get bored of it. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. He has
Quit or keep making the game.
Well,
Pick one.
he has a tendency to hype the wrong things. I remember the PS4 night, the reveal. Oh, we got something really, really cool to show you, and it was a skin of the dude on Ground Zeroes, and it was like, are you fucking kidding me?
no, there was exclusive missions with it too that take you back to the first game, but
You
that's-
sure about that?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think it was literally a skin because there were PlayStation fans that were pissed that they stayed up and
Mhm.
watched that.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh
'cause
yeah, that's
I
right.
thought-
No, he's right. It was only a skin. There was no missions. Oh wait, maybe there were missions for Phantom Pain, but you didn't
Yeah,
get to
not for the
Yeah.
Ground
Yeah.
Zeroes specifically.
Yeah, they're for
In
Phantom
Ground
Pain,
Zeroes.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm talking
Because
about the Phantom Zeroes.
Xbox gets Raiden in the I can't remember the body snatcher missions.
All right,
Ah, there you go.
there we go. Sorted.
I love Raiden.
Moving on. GTA 5 trailer. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yes.
GTA 5 trailer and an announcement that it's coming out in fall of 2014. And no one's shocked. I
was happy, not shocked.
I will definitely pick it up because I didn't play it. I was hoping they were going to do this because I purposely did not pick it up on last gen, wanting to get it for the
Same
new
here.
gen. So definitely picking it up, and it's not PS4 exclusive. It's coming out on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. As far as I know, it's day and date with all of them, at the same time. There's been something confirmed that PS4 is getting some sort of exclusive content for it.
One of the developers said they are getting some kind of content,
Yeah.
but they will not tell us what.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking it's probably something small, relatively speaking,
Yeah.
small. Maybe something cool like the Diablo 3 type of thing. Not like that exactly, but just something small and neat to PlayStation fans, like a fan service kind of thing. Um,
You get a PlayStation 4 in your room.
You get to play as Jack Tratton.
but yeah, I mean, there's really no news. It's just, hey, GTA 5's coming. Are you guys all getting it?
I will probably
Yes.
get it, yeah, to play
I'm
online with you guys.
thinking
It'll be
about it.
fun.
4 was kind of disappointing for me, so
Do not
I
base it
skipped
on 4.
5.
It's the exact opposite of 4.
After playing Watch Dogs, it got me kind of back into the whole GTA mode again, so I might pick it up.
All right.
I was kind of disappointed from one thing. Like, I love the gameplay. I love that they kind of didn't say what it was. You know, you kind of had to look like, what's this? What's this? Ooh, it's Grand Theft Auto, because you saw, one of the crazy guy, I can't even think of his name, stand up out of the field. You're like, yep, that's Grand Theft.
Trevor.
Trevor, yeah. But I hate that they said coming to PlayStation 4. Like,
That didn't bother
no.
me.
It's coming to everything. Coming to next gen. Just don't say it's coming to PlayStation 4, because that gets your diehard fans excited that they're the only ones getting it, and then it leaves the rest of us going, do we get
Well,
to play
let's
it?
be real. I don't think anyone thought it was an exclusive. So
No,
this
but
one
it
didn't
made me
bother me.
worry for 2 seconds. You know, that little ping in the back of your head, and I don't like those little pings. Just tell us how it is, like Microsoft did.
That's a running
He's
theme.
got enough
You can
dead
you
brain
can
cells. He doesn't need
bring
any
that
pop.
Yeah, exactly.
you can bring that
Exactly.
whole theme up in your summary
Sure.
of PlayStation
Sure.
Yeah.
conference if you want. Next game, Batman
Go
Arkham.
take your break, Chano. Go get a
No,
drink or something. And I was kidding.
what is it called? Batman
Arkham
Arkham
Knight.
Knight. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was. It didn't sound right for some reason when I was saying it. They showed a gameplay clip, a relatively long gameplay clip. Um, it looks phenomenal graphically. Gameplay wise, it looks good. This might be the first Batman game I actually pick up. I didn't play. I should say I've picked up all of them. By the way, I've owned all of them at one point or another. I've never played them other than the first couple minutes of each one. So this might be the first one I actually pick up and play. So
I really don't know how you're gonna play this without playing the
I
other
really
one.
don't care. Like you don't get that I'm gonna. I don't care. If I want to play it, I'll play it.
It's
Bat.
very easy to go on YouTube
I know
and
the
find
lore.
summaries for
Yeah.
everything.
I know the lore
So,
of
yeah.
Batman, so I'm not going to be lost as far as the characters and stuff. Whatever. I'm not playing it because I love Batman and the story. I'm playing it because it looks awesome and the gameplay looks pretty good. So,
Heck yeah.
um, yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So, go ahead. You know you want to, Carnal,
Carnal,
go for it.
this is yours.
Okay, the game looks absolutely outstanding,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited for it. For every little detail, the Batmobile, and finally getting to use it to the scale of the city this time. I mean, Arkham City was pretty big, and this looks huge. I mean,
Massive.
massive. I mean, he fell like for ages when he was gliding, and the double bridges and everything. It it looks like the ultimate Batman game, and knowing Rocksteady, that's exactly what it's gonna be.
Well, this will
And
be their last one in the trilogy, so I'm sure
yeah,
they want to go on a very high note.
they will go out with a gigantic bang, and I'm so glad it's not Warner Brothers Studio making it.
All right. Apparently, Mortimus has no interest in this one.
Oh no! I was just I
Well,
was
you
waiting for
gotta
Carnal to
talk up.
finish
We
his.
can't have dead air
I was
here.
I
Go
was
for
waiting for Carnal to finish and just never know when he's done.
I thought maybe you were just waiting for MW to talk.
No,
uh,
let's see.
well, that too. Okay, I've played Asylum and City. I skipped the last one because it was not a Rocksteady game, and I'm a big
Good job.
Rocksteady
Good
fan.
choice.
I did not want to ruin the enjoyment I had with the first two because they were awesome. Uh, a little interesting tidbit that wasn't at the conference but was on a Twitch stream. They were interviewing Rocksteady. Is their plan is they have fans who love the uh, more claustrophobic environments in Asylum, and then they have a bunch of fans who love the more open environment of City. They're trying to blend those together all in one game and I'm just like, damn, you mean you're going to be able to go into all these places and have I'm extremely excited for it. It looks mind-blowingly good. The batsuit design is awesome. Uh, it,
Batmobile looks
I'm
amazing.
Yep, amazing. Scarecrow's design is awesome. I
Terrifying.
can't wait to play it.
Yeah.
By the way, that is exclusive to the PlayStation version. They get Scarecrow missions, though.
Yep.
We don't know what
Not
that
to
is
say,
though, unfortunately, but
right? We're not saying the Scarecrow won't be in both versions, but they'll get exclusive Scarecrow missions. So same thing with the other two Batmans. They get some exclusive stuff. So
that could mean you can play as Scarecrow in the missions. I never thought of it that way. It didn't
scare the
say,
crap out of people
yeah,
for fun. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, because Joker was on the PS3 Arkham City exclusively in the little VR type mission, so that could just mean Scarecrow you can play as, which is not a big deal.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's Batman. It'll look cool. That's mine. Gotcha.
Everyone loves
let's
Batman
wrap
except
up.
Chano.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. If you haven't watched the video, go watch it. Make note, it is, I believe, confirmed that it was PC gameplay. Take that for what it is. I'm not saying it's not going to look great on either PS4 or Xbox One, but we don't know how much better it's going to look on that PC that it was running on, because it did look phenomenal. So we'll have to wait to see actual as it gets closer. I mean, this game's not coming out until next year, so there's lots of time between then and now to actually see it running on consoles, so. Or buy it on PC, whatever you want to do. The last thing they showed was let's see, it's Uncharted, of course. So according to Corinne Yu, who used to be working for 343 Industries, now works for Naughty Dog, confirmed that it was in-game. It looked great. So, if it was actually in-engine, congratulations. It was a fantastic looking. The detail of it was phenomenal. I'm not going to take anything away from it. It didn't give you any real detail in the story other than Nathan Drake was bloodied up a little bit. But
It looked like he had taken some time off and wanted to get back in the game again.
Which is funny because the title is named A Thief's End.
Yep, yeah, I should say that was the name of the title. Yep. They announced that, A Thief's End. 2015. Not a lot of detail given, so yeah, no, I don't have anything else to say about that one. I mean, it didn't make me any more or less excited about it. It was just kind of cool to see it, I guess.
It's Uncharted. It'll sell millions.
Yep, I've played the first three. I'm going to play the fourth one.
Yep.
I played the first two. Still need to do the third one, but they are good games.
I don't think anyone was surprised. I think everyone this was one of those games that was obvious that it was going to be shown. Yeah, they ended strong. I mean, they announced GTA, The Last of Us, Metal Gear, Batman, Uncharted. They finished strong. So, yeah. So let's wrap up Sony's conference with our summaries here. So I'll go quick. I won't touch on some of the things I know that people want to. It was very uneven. Not consistent whatsoever. It had some ups. It had some extended downs. That it reminded me a lot of last year's E3 Sony conference, in that it was boring for lots of pieces through it. I don't know. It's Sony. They were assholes again. I'll let someone else touch on that. But they need to take a page out of Microsoft's book and stop trotting out execs who are obviously not big gamers, and even if they are, they don't get the gaming community. I don't want to see those execs on there, unless it's Phil Spencer. He was pretty good, but what was it? Andrew House.
Ugh.
He rubs me the wrong way every time I see him. He just strikes me as a little fucking weasel.
Yeah, he's a fucking weasel.
And the new guy, who I believe took Jack Tretton's place. I can't remember his name offhand. he seems okay, but he moves his hands too much when he talks.
He's a bloated weasel.
Stupid little gripes. But
He's definitely Italian.
yeah, I mean, he's a businessman. You can tell that through and through. He does not strike me as a gamer whatsoever. Um, you know, he was annoying in a different way than Andrew House was. So that's my thoughts on Sony. Oh, overall, though, I will say they showed some cool games. A lot of the games. So my highlights were all multiplex for Sony. Far Cry, GTA, Mortal Kombat, and Batman. Those 4 games were the highlights of that conference for me, and they were all multiplats. And you could even throw in Dead Island 2's trailer, all multiplats.
Oh, yeah.
None of their third or exclusive games really got me excited during the conference. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, there it is. Soul, was it Bloodborne? A CGI trailer. Okay, I'm not really excited for it. It was cool to see it, but I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. So go.
Guess I'll go. It was all right. I know I had a different opinion that night of it, but after
Tell 'em about your
rewatching it,
delirium.
yeah, seriously, after watching it again, which I did take your guys' suggestion and watch it again, there were some very, very dull and boring moments. The trailers and everything they showed were cool. Most of them were great. But like Cheno said, there wasn't a whole lot of first-party excitement. The order looks outstanding, of course, but it's like I said, it could be on rails, so that's not really. I don't know. The biggest issue I had with that conference, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree, is the shot after shot after shot at Microsoft. And I
We've always
understand.
gave gamer options.
I understand that it's. I understand that it's business. It's business. I mean, and I hate the fact that they've turned the Sony population into these monsters. And I'm just gonna say it because some of the Sony fanboys are absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I blame Sony for partly that because of their first shot at last year's E3. Um, and they
It's
just
been like
continue to
that
do
for a
it.
while.
They talked about the peripheral, how it's optional, and they keep saying how it's better on PlayStation. Those are all direct shots at Microsoft, and you can tell in the little fucking weasel's voice. I could go on and on about this, so I'm just going to end and wrap it up here. That's what pissed me off the most. It had a lot of good highlights and gains, but most of them were third party. So
Mortimus, you go next. I'll be right back.
Um, I agree with everything you guys have said so far. The highlights to me, aside from the multi-platforms, because that's really where the strength was, would have to be The Order and Uncharted. Uh, Other than that, there were times in there where I had to force myself to stay awake, and I'm not lying. I had to force myself to stay awake. When the Penguin got on there talking about his the
Powers.
comic book adaptation, yeah, that was a snooze fest. Uh, the one guy giving off the numbers suit with the liver lips guy. Um,
Yeah, he's the new president of Sony America.
yeah, I just that's not a face that I would want to represent my strongest product at this point in time, being Sony. I would want someone that seemed a little more hip, cool, that the community could relate to. I couldn't relate to that guy. I just wanted to push him back in his office and not ever have to look at him again.
Nice. All right. Anything else from you?
No, that's it.
All right, go ahead, MW.
That was a great way to end. Yeah, what these guys said. Their conference had some highlights, but they had a lot of boring parts that I just could not care less about. And it's not that I hate Sony. I don't. I hate their fans. I don't hate them. I want them to show us great games. I want to have a reason to go buy a PlayStation. This ain't that year. There is nothing there that they showed me that makes me say, well, I've got an Xbox, but none of this is coming there. And they showed a lot of multi-plats as their big ringers, and so yeah, I'll be skipping the PlayStation 4 this year. I'll hopefully get it next year when 90% of their games that they mentioned are actually going to be out. Um,
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I'd like to add one more thing that I found completely idiotic. Them thanking a site like NeoGAF, and I'm not saying NeoGAF is biased. I am not saying they're biased. However, a lot of people look at them as them being biased. So going out on stage and thanking them publicly just goes to show you even more that Sony can be scumbags, and it
Yeah.
just
Someone tweeted out a reaction to the Sony press conference, and it sums up the whole press conference for me. Microsoft came on stage and they said, "We're really happy for Sony and Nintendo." Sony comes out on stage, everything's better on PlayStation.
Yeah.
That was their conference to me, and that's, you don't win fans that are potentially wanting to buy your conference that have, don't attack your fan or your other potential customers. And I like my PlayStation or my Xbox. I don't need to be attacked for liking what I like.
Yeah. Yep, a lot of their ads are the same way. They had a big billboard that said, "Where the greatest play." It's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, I guess that's almost taking a shot at the fans more than it's taking a shot
that's
at your
taking a shot at
competitors. Yep,
everybody,
yep. So, yeah, whatever.
diminishing them.
you ain't sucking Sony's dick. You, I guess, all right, don't matter.
All right. So we have one more conference to get to. Before that, we're going to take one more quick break, and then we're going to try and wrap this up in a hurry because I am struggling to stay awake right now. You can probably hear it in my voice. I need to get off this freaking computer chair. And go
Yeah, I
watch
can
a
hear. I
movie or
can hear
something.
it in your
Time for some
reaction.
jumping
So
jacks.
we will be right back.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. And we have one more conference to go. It's the Nintendo. I guess it's more of a live stream video than it is a conference. But we'll call it a conference for the sake of consistency. So I have very little to no interest in Nintendo games as a whole. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Carnal kind of run this one, and I'll provide input where I see I can provide it. So yeah, go ahead, Carnal, take it away.
All right, we're starting with Super Smash Brothers U. They showed that you can use your Mii, something that I kind of expected. You could use it in Mario Kart, so they also introduced that you can put the new Amigos, they're calling them, the little like Skylanders, Disney Infinity figures onto the actual gamepad, which is kind of cool. I'm not so thrilled about the incorporation into a game like Super Smash Brothers, but I'm assuming you can only use them with your Mii to use like special powers and stuff, so that's not too bad. It's not what I expected for like character wise and stuff.
Yeah, I think it shows special unlocks and stuff that you can get with it.
Yeah, which is
But I know
okay.
I know they were talking it'll be more than in just Smash Brothers U, so you'll be able to track it against a couple games later down the road too.
Yeah. It looks fun. I don't think I played the last Super Smash Brothers. But this one I'll be picking up just because I don't really have anything else for my Wii U. Damn you, Nintendo. Uh, but no, it looks fun. The Mii's have 3 specializations: Sword Fighter, Gunner, and Brawler. You can pretty much put your imagination what that means. They'll have a lot of mini
Close,
games.
medium, long range.
Yeah, pretty much. They showed off a bunch of mini games. They didn't. I mean, they went into detail on a few things, but not too much. Mortimus, you got anything to say on this?
No, looks like a Super Smash Brothers game with Mies.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Two more things I want to add. They have released 2 more characters. I cannot remember for the life of me what the first one's name is. MW, do you remember the green-haired girl?
No, but I know she's from the Kid Icarus. She is the
Yeah.
grand goddess or whatever.
Yeah, that was a cool intro. I'll give it
Oh,
that. That was a cool
Yeah, it
intro to
was.
that character. The anime and the fighting and stuff, that was awesome. But that was got me most excited
if
for
you're gonna
Super
share
Smash
off a
Brothers.
character that no one really knows or cares about,
Yeah,
that's one way to do it. At least the
exactly.
intro made you go, "Who is this?"
And they
And
didn't. Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
uh, Tell us about the second one. Sorry.
They didn't do this on the show, but they did announce Pac-Man as a playable character. A lot of people saw that coming.
Saw
So,
that, yeah.
but so they're
They
adding.
also kind of announced that Dark Kid Icarus too, at the very
Yeah,
last second. So how Nintendo does, they did.
yeah,
Yep,
but
I thought he looked cool.
yeah,
Sure.
he
Yeah.
did. But other than that, it's a Super Smash Bros. Game. If you played one before, if you're a fan of Nintendo, you're gonna like this game. So.
And how about you give the kids the launch date? Sorry.
Oh
And
shoot,
there's more.
I forgot. The launch dates for 3DS was on
I've
October
got
3rd.
everything written right there.
I know I wasn't paying attention. And then Wii U's version's coming out on holiday. So it is this year. So we can be happy that
Absolutely.
something's coming
Something
this
this
year.
year.
Yeah. Let's move on though. The next thing was, like I mentioned, the Amiibo, the new Skylanders
What?
line.
You're not gonna give me a chance to say what I think?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here. You're you were cabining it for a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Pass.
Oh.
That's pretty good. Like I was saying, the Amiibo line, it's essentially Disney Infinity / Skylanders figurines for Nintendo, which is something that could boost sales because there's a lot of diehard crazy fans, and I do mean crazy because I just don't get it. My brother,
Hey,
for one.
hey, hey! I'm gonna go out and buy a figurine. I ain't got a Wii U, so suck it.
No, my brother's an absolute fan of Disney.
The Mario with the little flame was kind of cool. I mean, come on. It was kind of cool if you're a Mario guy.
But no, these are going to be incorporated through several games, so it's not just going to be like Disney Infinity or Skylanders, where it's their games only. They're talk about putting it in Mario Kart, and it's going to be in Super Smash Brothers, and I'm sure it'll be in a lot of other games. So I'm not
Right.
going to spend any more time on that unless you guys got something specific to say.
You don't need one of those stupid pads.
Yeah,
You just put it right on top of your little Wii U pad, and it works. And that's great because now you don't have to buy a little crappy pad for every single one of them. So that's kind of cool.
Mortimus, you got anything, Dad?
Yeah, my only comment is once again the name is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, whatever the fuck it's called. Chano, would you like to say pass again?
No, I have nothing to add on that one. It's a cash grab to me. So
It is.
just more shit that'll
It
end
is.
up in a
Yep.
landfill in 5 years. So
It's so last generation to have your game fully unlocked when you buy
Disney
it.
Infinity
You
and
know
Skylanders
that.
are very successful, so I don't
yeah,
know.
no, I'm not saying they're not
Yeah, they're
successful. It's a cash
cash
grab. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really no
Well,
benefit to doing it to us unless you're a major
Yeah.
collector. But yeah, it is what it
It's
is. It's cool, I
You're a
guess, if you're
Mario
into
fan.
it. So
only
Yeah,
thing
if you're a
positive
Mario
thing
fan, you're a collector.
is if Nintendo doesn't get their ass in gear, they're gonna need that cash grab. Up next is Yoshi's Woolly World. We've seen, God, I think 2 years ago there was a clip of this or a screenshot of what this was going to be. Much kind of like Kirby's Epic Yarn. It's something based on sewing products. It's not. It's not the same exactly. Kirby's Epic Yarn was kind of outlined and uses pieces of string. This is more like what's that word?
Everything's made of
Crochet, is that the word? I don't
knit,
fucking
knit it.
knits,
knit.
yeah, something like that. It looks like it's cool concepts, but essentially it just looks like Yoshi's Island with a unique art style with no crying, annoying baby. So kids might like it. Anybody have something to say for that?
Nope. I watched
I
like
thought
5 seconds of it. So
I thought they did a really good job making the yarn look real. I mean,
Yeah,
that was
it does
pretty cool. I mean, I definitely appreciate different art styles, and
Mhm.
we've seen cell shaded to death. Let's try something else, and this is something else. So cool.
Yeah. Mortimus.
Yeah, it looked pretty much like another Yoshi game.
Yeah.
Art style was unique. I think uh, not just this game, but a few of the other ones we've played them all before. So that's
Yeah.
nothing really super fresh that
Oh,
I saw. Now.
and there was co-op in it.
Yeah, there was co-op, so that might be interesting, but
You can turn
I
your
don't.
buddy into a Yoshi or into an egg and throw him off the stage, and
I don't think it's not really enough to probably make me buy the game, but who knows?
Nah.
Maybe I'll see more that I like. Moving on, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm a little bit annoyed by this because if it's a full retail game, I would be very, 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 very pissed off because honestly, it should be an indie type game and it should be cheaper. They're taking this straight out of Super Mario 3D World where there was Captain Toad to begin with, and you had little mini stages that are essentially this entire game. I'm not saying it wasn't fun. It was unique and a break from what Mario 3D World was, but it's essentially the same thing with bigger stages, and I don't think it's
I must have lost my. I think this is when my feed froze because I completely
yeah.
missed this. I got back just in time for the next one.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle game. Um, I don't really know how to describe it. You change camera angles and you move small amounts and you avoid things. You can't fight back. So I don't know. But I don't know if anyone has anything to say on this one.
No, I never played 3D World, so I can't make a
Yeah.
Same
comparison.
here.
Well, you don't need to make a comparison. Just what's your thoughts on the actual what you saw?
Uh, it didn't excite me.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't see it.
Chano.
Nah, I have nothing to add to that one.
All right. This is probably the biggest game they showed off was Legend of Zelda Wii U. Finally, in my opinion, it should be coming out this year, but I won't get into that. The game looks amazing, at least in my opinion. It is cel shaded. I know some people may be disappointed with that, but at least it's not Toon Link. So it looks a little.
It was a very serious Borderlands-esque type of shading.
Yeah, it looks a little Skyward Swordish. It's very colorful, which all Link games should be. Or
All Nintendo games, you mean?
yeah, true. Yeah.
There you go.
And him standing out in the field with Epona and everything, which I'm assuming is Epona, but you don't never know. The biggest points I'm gonna hit on this is it's open world. They've said this, so that is interesting and both exciting and a little bit off-putting. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same, especially being able to go wherever you want to, instead of a unique order like Legend of Zelda's always had. Um, I'm sure it's going to be amazing, and I'm just worrying for no reason, but that's my take on it. What do you guys think?
This game might convince me to buy a Wii U. I've been waiting for a good reason. I love Zelda. I grew up with Zelda. I think I'm glad they're trying something new because so far what we've talked about they've already done before. So I'm glad they're trying the open world concept just to do something different. I think the art style was beautiful. Like I say, this may push me to get one once I see a bit more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Zelda. You know, it was one of the first games I got, so more Zelda is always great. Unkid Zelda is always great. Open world is always fantastic. Uh, but I think people are misconstruing open world. When they mean open world, they mean, well, you're going to come to this bridge and you can't cross it without the hook shot. Good luck. Um, so
Yeah.
it's open world as in the Ocarina of Time, and the other ones were. Sure, you had a lot to do and a lot to explore, but you're going to get to parts where you need the tools, and yeah, you can't do them out of order. Suck it up.
Well, no, they said that you can go in any order you want to, so they said it's very open
I'll
world.
believe that when I see it.
I don't know.
Um,
It's not like you can go fight Ganon and then go do something, but I think it's going to
Why
be
not?
somewhat different.
Yeah. More power to them. Let's see more next year, and maybe the year after that, because Nintendo takes forever.
Yeah.
Yay for them.
If it's not out next year, I'll be very disappointed. Channel.
Yep.
I thought visually the game looked pretty good for a Wii U game. You know, I'm not a big Zelda. I'm not a big Nintendo first party anything really. I enjoy some of the games. Never been a big Zelda guy. Just for whatever reason, never really got into them.
But
The game looks like it has some promise, but you know, one screen and a couple of descriptive words doesn't really sell me a game. So I guess we'll see what happens. You know, if it's the greatest game ever and I see enough gameplay, and I'll consider getting one someday. If the kids. The other thing is the kids aren't begging me to get one, so there's. I'm not gonna buy a
That's
Wii U
always
for
bonus
one
points
game.
for parents.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it looks good. So I have nothing against it. It's just not for me. Most of these games I'm kind of in the same boat with a lot of these. Is they look good, but not my style game. So.
Yeah.
By the way, for anybody that's interested, Chano over here actually didn't play a lot of games in his youth. He was one of those outside kids that played in the woods and had fun and did sports, unlike the rest of us nerds.
Yeah. I played games, but I didn't play them nonstop. So I didn't start playing games a lot until I was probably, I want to say 11, 12 is when I started playing more consistently. So
Yeah, I thought I'd troll him on that point. So
that's fine.
Moving on. I know everyone's getting tired. Pokemon Ruby Sapphire Remake. I really know nothing about Pokemon, so if there's a Pokemon fan here, please take
It's
this up.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say than that. Does anybody want to say something about it?
Are these remakes for the handhelds?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire were Game Boy Advance games. They came right after Silver and Gold, and they'll sell a metric crap ton of even more 3DSs. So,
Yeah.
God damn it, give us one on the consoles, you
Yeah, it's
bastards!
get
You
back
want
to
sell?
me.
They want to sell Wii U's?
Pokemon would be a good
Idiots!
market.
Get back to me when there's a 3D console version of a Pokemon game, and I'll consider it.
Yeah.
That might sell me a Wii U. So.
Yeah.
Moving on, unless someone else has anything to say.
Okay, man.
Bayonetta 2. Once again, I didn't play the first one. I know what it is, but finally it's coming. Did they say this year?
Next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. If someone wants to talk about it, go ahead.
So finally, it's coming eventually.
Yeah.
I can talk a little bit about this one.
Go ahead.
It's one of the few games that actually looks good to me. If you like the first Bayonetta, it looks like you're gonna like this one. So looks like more bonkers action, adventure style game.
More hair.
Yeah, it's a very unique game. If you didn't play the first one, it's a love it or hate it type of game.
It says it's coming this October. It says.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I swore I saw it 2015, but go right ahead.
Is that a retraction of your maniacal laughter? You can't take that back.
No, I do not retract the laughter. I retract the date.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Bayonetta 2 is an interesting decision on Platinum Games' part, honestly, especially at the time they announced it as being exclusive, just because I'm pretty sure it sold pretty well on the.
Their official statement was it didn't sell enough to warrant a second, or at least in them. And
so yeah,
Nintendo said we want it.
Yeah,
they paid.
It's odd, to say it didn't sell enough to warrant a sequel, but then to release it on a system that it's a risk to release that style of game on a Wii U right now. But maybe it'll pay off, maybe it won't. But yeah, the game itself actually looks pretty good. I thought the gameplay looked pretty frantic and smooth. The graphics looked acceptable. I don't think they looked anywhere near as good as some of the other PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games that we've seen, but for what you expect from the Wii U currently, I would think it looked pretty good. The particle effects and everything looked pretty good when you're in the fighting scene, so something to look out for if you're interested in a Wii U or have one already. So.
Yeah, so I bought Bayonetta the day it came out. I don't know why, but I'm glad I did. I had a lot of fun with it, went all the way through it. Didn't 100% it, didn't do anything crazy. I just had fun with what I played, the 1.5 times that I went through it. And it was a really good, zany game you would expect from Platinum Games.
So what does that have to do with Bayonetta 2? Related to the new game.
Yeah. I was wondering where you were going with this one.
As in, thank you for sharing your experience about a game that came out years ago, but...
Well, you get the first one, 3 years later. You get the second one 3 years later. You get the third one 3 years later. You get the fourth one 3 years later. You get the fifth one 3 years later. You get the sixth one 3 years later. You get the seventh one 3 years later. You get the eighth one 3 years later. You get the ninth one 3 years later. You get the tenth one 3 years later. You get the 11th one 3 years later. You get the 12th one 3 years later. You get the 13th one 3 years later. You get the 14th one 3 years later. You get the 15th one 3 years later. You get the 16th one 3 years later. You get the 17th one 3 years later. You get the 18th one 3 years later. You get the 19th one 3 years later. You get the 20th one 3 years later. You get the 21st one 3 years later. You get the 22nd one 3 years later. You get the 23rd one 3 years later. You get the 24th one 3 for the Wii U for free when you buy the second one,
Is it
which
touched
is
up
really
at all?
cool. No, they have not. It's a
Just a
direct
straight port.
port.
Okay.
Yeah. But you
Nice
do get it
segue.
for free, so that's really cool. And you get the second one, and there are they showed off Link costumes for her. Other cool
Metroid.
Mario's. Oh, Metroid. There was some other things I can't remember them all. Go watch the trailer. Come on, people. I can't tell. I can't tell you everything here.
It looks like a cool game. I'll probably get it since Bayonetta 1's with it. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. But it was the last thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more Bayonetta goodness. Let's do this. If I ever get a Wii U, that will be
Boobies.
going with it. It was less. I'm sure there was a lot of sexual stuff to it, but it wasn't some of that really direct, cheesy. Oh God, this doesn't fit in there kind of stuff. So it was a great game to play. Sex
Mortimus?
was not.
Yeah, it's very, very unique with the whole hair thing and all that stuff. Excuse me.
He's
Uh,
choking it.
Probably the only game on this list that I can say, oh, there's a game that's not for little kids. Not that adults can enjoy these other games, don't get me wrong, but uh, this is a more PG-13 game, I would say.
This is an MA game.
Yeah, this is a mature game, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'll give it props just for being on the list and not being a family-oriented game.
Oh, absolutely.
All right,
Oh,
look.
we were talking about numbers. First one sold only 2 million total between the two platforms. So no, not a great seller.
All right, let's keep going here. Hyrule Warriors, essentially a depiction of Dynasty Warriors, but Zelda themed. Looks pretty good. I may pick it up. I don't see myself paying a full retail price of $60 for it. But they announced a few new characters. Midna from Twilight Princess. You can play with Zelda and team up with Link, and there's one more character, but I can't remember who it was. I can't remember his name. I know who it is, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, you're essentially playing Dynasty Warriors with Zelda characters and Zelda enemies. It looks kind of fun. I will give it that. But like I said, I won't pay full retail price. No way. Anyone else?
I've played quite a few Dynasty Warriors games over the years. I'm not interested in that game's play anymore, so it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, it was great stuff back in PlayStation 2 days, but Dynasty Warriors is dead. Move along, Koei. Same thing with this game. Move along.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. It looks okay if you like that style of game. So
All right, on to the little pink puffball, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. I don't know why they put
Not
Cruise on
Buffy
this
in this
list.
one.
It is claymation, and
we know what that with MW's list. We know what MW is thinking.
Yep, we're taking Kirby on the cruise.
Not just a crew; it's a rainbow
God,
cruise.
and you get at me for saying maiden when he has like 60 spelling mistakes on this thing.
Hey! I didn't write this list. I already told you. I just copy and pasted it. I was
Sure,
someone who
sure.
spent the time.
Anyway,
God.
it's in claymation. That's awesome. That now this is the kind of game I get into. I like Kirby. I know it's kiddie and childish, but it is from my childhood, so I'm a pretty big Kirby fan. I did not play the one before this, but I will play this one. This one looks fun and unique.
Because it's big, puffy, and pink like you.
Yeah. I'm
Love it,
pretty
Carnal.
pale, man. I don't think I'd work as this thick.
I would love to see you. Anyway.
I'd have to get beat by a dominatrix
Yeah, you
before I
could
look
end
like
that.
Kirby.
I think
Yeah, I'm
not
right there.
ending that is probably worse than And whatever you were going to
Okay,
say isn't worse than what I filled in.
I'd love to see you eat something and then spit out a star. There you go.
That's
Love
way
to
better
see
than what
that.
you could have put. So.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
Oh boy, how late is it?
Late. Let's keep going. Hurry up.
Mute, damn it.
Great, he's coughing now. I killed the guy. Fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted out of this podcast.
Good, I'm good, I'm good. Does anyone have anything else to say, Kirby?
Nope.
Okay. Xenoblade Chronicles. I know this is big for some people. I've never played a Xenoblade game. Someone take it away that actually played him.
Played the ones on the PlayStation 2, and it was amazing. And I hope this one's amazing. And I know Average is gonna go rebuy a Wii U for this exact title because
Yeah,
they really do need more RPGs, and this is definitely that. A beautiful, big, fun RPG, and they always have been.
this is
That's all I
the other
got.
game that may make me go buy a Wii U. Because the Xenoblade games historically have been phenomenal. So, we'll see. Again, I want to see more of it. No offense to Nintendo, but I I don't want to get my expectations up without seeing more.
Alright.
Chano.
I've never played Xenoblade games, so I have, all I have is what I saw, and it looks like a decent RPG, more of a classic style RPG. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, especially considering there's not a lot of RPGs on any other systems right now, and none on the horizon, from what I can tell. So, there's your fix, I guess. So,
Yeah, I hope it's good for those who actually like the series. So,
Mm-hmm.
moving on, Mario Maker. Now, this is kind of cool. They showed in the trailer of them making Mario stages in the classic. What really caught me off guard is when they switched to the new graphics of Super Mario Wii U. That was kind of cool. You essentially can make your own Mario 2D worlds and play around with that, and I'm assuming it has some kind of online interaction where you can let other people play. I mean, that's not.
I'm sure they're gonna have a
Yeah,
little big planet type interface. Sure.
yeah. That's not guaranteed. It's just a very easy thing to assume, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's really interesting and really cool. That's a good idea.
Um, their PC, the PC community's been doing it for a while, building Mario stages on the old Super Mario World engine, and then putting them up on YouTube or letting people share them or whatever. So I think Nintendo finally caught on and was like, well, how can we make money off of this? And I'll
It's
take it.
smart.
I will take it. I mean, it's going to be fun, so I'll take it. I
Yeah.
don't care if you make money. That's kind of your job.
Yeah.
As long as they don't sue everybody else that's made them already.
Yeah,
God.
and it looks pretty simplistic too, so everyone should be able to do it easy enough.
Yep.
Anyone else? Mortimus channel?
I got nothing on that one. Looks like it could be neat in the same vein as like Little Big Planet. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just not into. Same with Little Big Planet and those. I'm not into creating my own levels, so I think it's great for those people who are into that stuff.
Alright.
If they offer it cheap enough, it'd be fun to go in and see what other people have created if they do it like
Yeah.
Little Big Planet. That's really the real draw to those games. Not really what you can do as an individual, but what's the world, the community doing around you? Because maybe you can get ideas and maybe it will channel your creativity to make something awesome.
Well, my biggest fear, and I hope this doesn't continue with this, is that they're gonna offer it free to play, and you'll have to purchase items to make levels. And if they do that,
Oh.
they can completely forget that shit. I'm not.
Do a block limit.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
That would
fucking with
be
that. That would be
So-
based
messed
on
up.
arrival.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to a new IP called Splatoon. This is multiplayer, which I'm surprised Nintendo's going for because their online service is not the greatest. 4 on
understatement
4.
of the century.
Yeah. 4-on-4 online multiplayer action game. You essentially paint the ground or the walls, and whoever has the most paint splattered on their team at the end wins. You also can turn into an octopus and swim through the paint. That was a little off guard, but um,
Well,
it's unique.
essentially all the girls are squids or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's unique. It's different. I could see myself playing this, but once again, it's not a game I will pay full price for. It looks like a fun game that I could probably do about 30 rounds of and then never touch it again. But but it's unique. It's different. I'm glad Nintendo's actually trying a little bit, but I don't know. Anything else you
That
guys to say?
unique, interesting, and I'm glad they're trying something new.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it looked stupid, honestly.
There's Chano.
It has nothing to do with it. It's a Nintendo game. They tried to do something, and I think they tried in the wrong way. But whatever. That's just it didn't look fun to me at all. So
It's something you can let your kids play instead of playing Call of Duty and cursing at each other. Maybe.
well, to me, like if I look at that versus like Plants vs Zombies, I mean Plants vs Zombies is a game that kids can play, and Plants vs Zombies looked miles better than that game. I'm sorry. I'm not just
Sure,
talking about
sure.
visuals. I'm talking about the way it plays and just the fun it looks like. So, but
Yeah,
I could be
well,
wrong. It's a limited view of the game, so maybe it'll be great.
yeah. Oh, by the way, I guess this was at the end. Paul Tino was the name of the Super Smash Brothers character that was announced, and that was the end of the show. I mean, with the whole anime introduction to her, so that
Yeah,
was
they
about
had a
it.
very short conference.
Who the hell is Paul
and
and
they only
Tina?
really.
It's a Kid Icarus character.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Um, I didn't really
Yep.
know who it was at first either, so
All right, let's do our.
yeah. Let's do our wrap up. I guess I'll go last, but Chano, let's start with you.
I honestly can't even begin to give thoughts on this conference. Honestly, I didn't even watch the conference live. I had something going on, so I watched it. I tried to watch it live or recorded and got through the first few minutes, and then I ended up skipping through. Like I hit all the games, I watched all the trailers and listened to some of the talks, but um, I didn't get to experience the presentation as a presentation really. So with that said, they showed the games they needed to show from Nintendo, and a couple third-party games that look interesting. Um, I guess they're on the right track, but I would like to see more, I guess. So that's that. I feel like you missed a game, by the way. Did we
No,
not?
we hit them all.
Star Fox.
Yeah, but that wasn't
That wasn't
announced on the
announced.
show.
Oh, that wasn't in
Star
the thing.
Fox
Oh, okay.
He
wasn't
was-
announced
I thought
in
they
the show.
brought it
Yeah.
up. Sorry, never
But
mind.
Star Fox is coming. They announced it on off show, so
They showed it behind a hidden gray
Like-
blurred out screen with
Yeah.
Miyamoto playing it.
No, it's all good.
And I mean, you had to be an idiot to not understand it was Star Fox, but that's
Yeah.
all you got out of the conference. So
So I give this conference a. I have no idea. That's my answer. I don't know.
I have
An
no idea
incomplete.
how to
he
say.
gives it an
No, it's not
incomplete.
incomplete because that signifies that they did something wrong, and in my opinion, I
They
don't
didn't
have
show
an
up to
opinion.
E3.
Well, yeah, that's part of it, but yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. I'm too distant from Nintendo in general for me to really have a strong opinion one way or the other. So
All right, MW, you wanna go?
Sure. So I liked what they showed. They didn't horse around too much. Like at the beginning, they showed off the guys fighting, and that was actually pretty sweet to show off Smash Brothers. Awesome. And then they showed a bunch of games that a lot of people that are Nintendo fans will like. Everyone's gonna like just about everything. If you have a Wii U, eventually in late 2015, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything wrong with their conference. I wish it was longer. I wish they would have brought some third parties. I wish they would have had an actual E3 presentation. But I'm glad they didn't spend a ton of time horsing around and showing gimmicks and them in Mario costumes and Dead, they showed more games, and they showed whatever that claymation was. I can't remember the guy that does
Robot
that. I know it's
Chicken.
Seth. Yeah, they did Robot Chicken jabs at themselves, which is really big for Nintendo to jab at itself. That doesn't happen a ton, especially not Sony Japan or Nintendo Japan. So, you know, good for them. Good conference. Not the best, but a good one. It was solid enough.
Mortimus?
I thought it was okay. I thought the presentation style was kind of interesting. It did somewhat keep my attention, just with the bouncing back and forth and the claymation, and then showing some more games. So I thought they did a good job with that. My problem with Nintendo is I guess I've grown up. Uh, and I still do have soft spots for Zelda, for instance, Mario, but I've kind of moved on from the tried and true Nintendo style of gameplay, which they like to stick to. So, um, for a non-teen child gamer, it just wasn't enough for me.
My opinion, I liked it. I thought it was a pretty decent conference. It's better than what they've done recently with conferences and stuff. This is the right direction to me. They should keep doing games. And Shano, you can go fuck yourself. They should keep showing games, and that's what they did with this conference. They showed games. They talked about games. They did what everyone didn't expect from Nintendo, because they just haven't done that lately. Games just seem to be so far away every time, and um, I'm happy to see that there's a few games coming out this year: Super Smash Brothers, Bayonetta 2.
Yay, no more gimmicks or vitality sensors.
Exactly. But no, they had a pretty good conference. They they did a good job. Other than that, we'll see what happens next year if they continue this path, if they start bringing the stupid gimmicks.
All right. So that's everyone. Unless you were done, Connell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is one last little piece. I'm going to record it in a separate segment here, so I'm going to end it here, and we'll be back with just the final wrap-up of basically our E3 press conference thing, which should just be another few minutes. So see you in a second. All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us this long if you're still here. We have one last little segment we're going to do, and that's just kind of the wrap-up of the all the different press conferences here and what we thought of them as a whole. We'll avoid going into too much detail of the conferences themselves and just kind of focus on a really general sense. I'm kind of leaving it up to these guys how they want to go about it. I'm not forcing anyone to rank them to say who they thought won, nothing like that. It's pretty much whatever they want to say. Not to say that they can't rank them. If you really want to rank them, go for it. Carnal, I believe, volunteered to go first, so I'll let him go.
My opinion on it, this E3 wasn't the greatest E3 of all time, but it was a good E3. If I had to, I'm not gonna rank, but Microsoft impressed me the most. It was games. That's what we're here for. We want games. They gave us games, and that's but all I need to sum up there. Nintendo gave us games as well. They had a few quirky things into it. Then Sony, the little bits of boring kind of threw the conference off for me. But they essentially had an okay showing. But that's all I really have to say. To me, Microsoft is the clear champion this year, if you want to say it.
All right. Fair enough. Mortimus, I think you're up next.
Microsoft, I thought did a great job of showing games, and especially games that we actually get to play this year. So they get big kudos for that. The one item they were missing to me was something that just blew my mind. They had some great stuff, but nothing that blew my mind. So I lightsaber meter was not at full.
Only at half staff.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ubisoft, I think had a really strong showing. Uh, like I mentioned earlier, almost every game on that list is a purchase for me, minus a couple. So I thought they had a really, really strong show. Uh, Sony had a couple of strong moments for me, and a lot of weak in the middle, and a lot of multi-platforms. So I did not think they. Maybe they made it to second base. They certainly didn't hit a home run, but it was adequate. And EA to me was fairly big letdown, aside from a couple games. So um, Microsoft, I would say, got the lightsaber, and Ubisoft got the biggest lightsaber of the group.
All right.
That's it for me.
Let me just add, because I completely forgot about Ubisoft and EA. So thank you for reminding me, Mortimus. Ubisoft, amazing. I would put it right up there with Microsoft. They both had amazing shows. EA, I'd put with Sony, because it was boring because it didn't have a lot of games I was interested in other than Dragon Age. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
All
All right.
right, so going with Microsoft, I mean, um, they showed off, what we wanted to see. We heard what we wanted to see. No huge announcements, so that was a disappointment. I know there were a lot of fanatics that wanted to see blowouts and things, and I really wanted to see something from Bethesda, but we didn't. But overall, my wallet is crying and I am smiling, and that's what is really important. Yeah. Wah, wah. Um, they gave me a reason to keep, you know, to keep playing on their platform, and that's their job. So the kudos to them. Um, and then Electronic Arts, they have so much good stuff. I can't fault them for having variation in it. I mean, I we're not big sports guys, so that's not their fault. Um, what they showed was good. What we didn't like was still good to some other people. So they just wasn't our conference. So you can't fault them for having a very varying outlook. Ubisoft, everything we saw was really good, and Aisha Taylor was a really great host, and I hope they bring her back next year. She was funny when she needed to be and not awkward at all, so that was cool. A lot of great games, definitely up there with Microsoft. Um, Definitely kudos to them for their great presentation. You fix Uplay, and I'm a huge supporter. Um, she was not. Hush. Sony, good start, terrible, complete middle. I mean, as soon as Little Big Planet got on there, I was done. They talked too much. They drawed it out. They didn't need to go over by 20 minutes. They should have just shoved their little executives, like Mortimer said, right back into their offices. And yeah, um, Sony did fine with the ending. So at least they had something to wake us up. Nintendo, a lot of great games. Not for everybody, but they're heading in the right direction. They get third party support and a decent online, they'll be good to go. And yeah, it was great overall. I'm glad we did this.
Yep. That's everyone but me, so I'll go
Yep.
next. Yeah, you touched on something quick too. I'm glad we did this as a community this year. It was fun being in the party chats through all this stuff. The only one I wasn't able to get into with you guys was the Nintendo one, and that's probably fine because I would have been bored to tears anyway with you guys. So, but yeah, it was really fun. So before I get into mine, thank you guys for doing all this stuff. So,
Yep.
as far as what I thought of the E3 conferences in general, I don't think it's any secret that I prefer Xbox for gaming, but I try to be as realistic as possible. But with that said, I still think the Xbox presentation was more to my liking. They focus on the games, and that's really what I care about right now. I don't have time to listen to all their BS right now. Just show me the games I'm going to spend my money on. They did good. Um, and then as far as ranking the rest, you know, I don't want to say there's winners and losers. I thought all of them did well. So I don't think there's any real loser in this one. But if I had to rank them for at least the presentations themselves, I would put Microsoft right on top. I would put Ubisoft just below them, Sony right below them, and then EA was by far, in my opinion, the worst, and it has more to do with me not being interested in their games, similar to MW. Um, they showed some good games, but just not enough that interested me. And as far as Nintendo goes, I can't even begin to rank them just because it would be unfair to them. Not that they're ever going to listen to this, but it would be unfair for them for me to even consider putting them in somewhere. But they did show some good games, so I'll give them credit for that. With that said, I think we can all agree that the only real winner here is anyone who games. No matter what platform you chose or are going to choose, whatever you own or however you're going to play games, you won E3 because there was a shit ton of great games that were shown for every system.
Except for Vita. Except for Vita.
Yeah, we're talking about consoles. We don't talk about handhelds here. So,
Booyah! Booyah!
that's something.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, if you own a console, a real console, but I'm including Wii U in that. You're gonna have a great couple years. There's anyone who thought gaming, especially on consoles, was going into a decline, was flat out wrong. I mean, games are coming. So I don't really have anything else to add on that. Anyone else have any last thoughts before I close this out?
I just want to say thanks to everyone. It's been really fun, and I'm glad I got to do this with you guys.
Definitely a good time.
Yeah, Mortimus, thank you for being part of our longest podcast by twofold.
No problem. Glad to be here, and I stayed awake through the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I do know that we're going to have some spots open, so maybe we'll invite you back here more on a regular basis. We'll see if you're interested anyway. So we'll talk about that later.
Depends. We'll see if the fans like him or
yeah,
not.
We'll put up to a
And his
vote.
lightsaber.
Shit, I'm close to getting voting out because the fans hate me.
So, but yeah, if you stuck around with us this long, I really appreciate it. I mean, we do this because it's fun for us, but at the same time, we appreciate that people actually take the time to listen as well, and hopefully enjoy what we have to say, whether you agree with us or not. We don't really care. We just care that you listen to us and come to the site. So, with that
So
said,
if you want to tell us we're wrong, we'll take it. Go ahead, tell us.
Yeah, you want
We won't agree with you, but you can tell us.
Your guys' opinions do matter. He doesn't mean like we're not going to listen to you if you
Oh, I'm not.
post something in the chat.
No, I'm kidding. All right, but yeah, this podcast has gone on long enough, so I'm gonna end it here and just say thanks for listening again, and hope you enjoy the rest of E3 as it ends. What is it, tomorrow? Friday? There's a couple more days, right? So yeah, enjoy the rest of it, whatever's left. Make sure you catch up on all the rest of the videos, either on our site or on Xbox, wherever you can find them, because there's a lot out there that's being, not advertised. So have fun, and I'll see you next week for basically the E3 wrap-up podcast, where we talk about any miscellaneous stuff that didn't make it into the press conference. It'll be more of a typical podcast where we bring up a few news items. So back to normalcy next week. So thanks and have a great week.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you later.